Okay, hello everybody, for real this time. Had a few mic issues, sorted it all out. I guess this is like the first Galaxy Gallery stream that I've done, like since I've gotten the new mic, which is crazy to me. It's so crazy, my god! But it should be all good now. Let me know if there's anything else that you're noticing that is unusual. But we should be alright, so with that, here's what we're working on tonight. So check it out, here's what we're dealing with tonight. I'm gonna be working on a new BRB because 'tis the season, as they say in October. Can I move this? Yes I can, okay. I wanna see lots of layers, baby. Is this as high as it goes? Okay. Lots of layers, baby. Because, listen, as I'm sure, as you are no doubt aware, this has been the BRB all this time. But I was thinking, hey, I like having unique BRBs, but I don't have any unique BRBs. But the thought of it is nice, so I thought I would start this by doing an October thing. So here's what I've got done so far. Basically, the concept is there's gonna be, you know, some shivering going on, and there's gonna be like a flash of light. So I'll turn off these front layers and I'll show you the background fully. Got a nice little hallway here, and usually it's gonna be dark like this, right? And also minus the cast? Yeah, okay. Minus that layer too. But then, there's gonna be a flash of lightning, and suddenly, not that, you see him. For a brief moment. And then, this happens. Let me turn the transparency in the background back down so you can see the foreground better. And then this happens. Then you turn around. By you, I mean me. Also, there's a bit where he flickers here. I might have disabled a layer somewhere. There he is. Come back. My child. Rough surprises. So that's what we're going to be working on tonight. As you can see, I've got the roughs worked out, so I'm probably going to be doing the clean liner on this and the coloring. And the thing is that it's not just going to be our good friend, Lucky Luciano. As you can see, we've got some other great kind of cursed things from the stream that I thought would be great additions. So as you can see, we've got Diddy Kong. We've got the flower from Chibi Robo. Him. Taha. I might fuck with this a little bit more because drawing Tommy is hard. He's got a unique likeness, to say the least. We've got the Grapefruit Lady. We've got Scott, president of Domino's Pizza. I'm really excited to do this one because the phone can be like its own unique light source with Miku on it, but I haven't done anything to it. This is all going to be cleaned up and lined as well, so I don't know if this is going to be like multiple streams, but yeah. And then also Toast. Please put in one of the VeggieTales OCs. Hey, Funky Billiards! Fun fact, I actually did have Larry the Cucumber as one of these background memes, but I got rid of it because I didn't think it was that good. We'll work on what we have so far, and we'll see what happens. But I want to focus on what's already here before adding in more. You're right though, this is a great template. There's plenty more that can be thrown in as time goes on, but we'll add more when we get there. So in the meantime, gotta use secret. Is secret the name of a layer here? What do you mean gotta use secret? What do you mean gotta use secret? Oh, the VeggieTales OC! Secret the character! Oh my god, I forgot about Secret. Secret the Cucumber? Secret the Hedgehog? What's her name? Oh, Secret. Oh my god, I know Secret. Oh, boy, don't I. Don't I know Secret. Also, I need to get rid of layer 18 here. This should be named Gradient, because that is for the walls. Okay, and let me actually rename all of these to, you know, frame 1, frame 2, etc. So that way, whenever I create a new layer, it's not going to be like layer 59 or whatever. Thrilling. And again, you can see now what I have to live with when typing on this MacBook keyboard, because you'll notice occasionally some duplicated, like, see the letter R there? It was FRR for a second and then I had to backspace it. Sometimes you get like, sometimes the keystrokes like add in like an extra letter, and it's bullshit. Because dust and crumbs get onto the keyboard. And it's covered on warranty, but there's no Apple stores in this part of Canada. So I had to ship it out of town, but then I'd be without computer for weeks. You were right, Tommy. The computer business was too competitive. Anyways, Now with that out of the way, let's get started. By renaming this layer 1 and making a group called just normal frames. No rough frames, just frames. For a second, you nearly forgot about Secret, and I envied you so much. I don't know if I would envy me for not knowing about Secret. Secret is, man, a treasure, really, truly. I mean, Max, I was thinking about, you know, just doing this as like a solo stream, but if you have something you're working on, feel free to join if you'd like, if you're here. Because it's not like I got shit to talk about. I've been complaining about this MacBook since, like, what, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze? Which, by the way, let's have Diddy here. Just for another quick second, because...
Looks like you're stuck with me, DK!
I don't know who I want. I kind of like Fat Yoshi, because he's such a menacing presence. But Luciano was a good one, too. They're all good. In their own special way. Man, Secret would be a good one, though. I don't know, though. Aren't they, like, no copyright intended or whatever? Are they gonna, like, sue me if I use that character? Guys, we can't have another Galaxy Gallery stream where things just spin out wildly into VeggieTales discourse. I don't know. Oh, bub, I just got my wisdom teeth out today. My mouth hurts so much I can't talk. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I still haven't gotten mine taken out, but I don't know. Seem to be managing well so far. I don't know though, like, I do shit like this with, like, the streams and the artwork, like, so frequently. I don't know, like, going back to the whole MacBook thing, like, I don't know if I could be without my fucking work machine that long, because that's really what it is. Also, you'll notice that we are currently listening to the Sonic Unleashed soundtrack, and I don't mean to spoil anything that's happening later in October, but it got me thinking, you know, I keep saying that, like, oh, well, the next Sonic game that I want to do would be 06 or Unleashed. And so I paid a quick visit to .com Amazon, and I saw, hey, one copy left for the 360 for $9? Sure. So, you know, look forward to that later this month. I only ever grew up playing the Wii version, and everybody says that, like, the 360 version is, like, miles better, so... And, like, very different, too, so I'm actually kind of looking forward to, seeing what those differences are all about. And also, you know, good daytime levels. Please, I am begging you. Like, apparently there's, like, hub worlds and shit? Wii version don't got hub worlds. Let me look into Secret's legal situation. I can't imagine Secret is in good standing with the law. Secret technically has a copyright by being uploaded to DeviantArt, but nowhere does the artist ask for no fan art. I don't know if they would want fan art of this kind. Oh my god, and Secret could have, like, the glowing red eyes, like, isn't that what they have when they seduce their enemies or whatever? What does Secret even look like? They're like... It's weird because Larry the Cucumber is like this, right? He kind of leans in this direction, right? His body kind of slumps downwards like this. But with Secret, it's actually very scary because their body is like this. And it's like Larry's spine is being snapped.
Please help me!
And then he's got, like, fucking... How do you draw these things? Those are just fucking lightning strikes. Isn't that how the leggies work? But those are only 2 legs. Now he needs the other 4. The other 4, I say, as if he has 6. And then it's like that, right? And then it's like... These ones are just human arms, actually. Oh no. And then they got a tail. Don't they have like emo hair or like cat ears or something, or both? Something like that? Check Discord for a refresher. Oh no. I tried to do like foreshortening here, but it kind of looks like they're like only standing on their forelegs and their like hind legs are like dangling. Oh. This is why I didn't want to bring this up, because now I'm getting very, very... Oh, that's right! That's right! Okay, here, look at this. So it's not just Larry, it's specifically Larry Boy. Look at their gross toes, I hate it. But you're right, okay, so let's see, they've got the mask. I might want to close a couple of these things because I don't know what I've got open in Photoshop. Okay. So they've got this. They've got that, okay. They got sunglasses, of course. Because they fuck. That's why. And they go onto their Oh, I see. They actually do go onto their ears. They curve up and loop around their fucking plunger ears. He kind of looks like that one yokai from Yokai Watch that's like just a real man face on a dog, and he's like a businessman. And of course, their cape. Guys, I'm gonna like erase this as soon as I'm done drawing this. I don't know why I'm still going. And yet...
And that's how you draw a secret.
Original character, do not steal. God, what a fucking nightmare. Die. Oh, Lord. But you are right, that would be a very good secret to be hiding in the shadows.
Huh. They look like a mole.
They look like mole nails. I don't know, claws? What would you call these? Disgusting is what I'd call them. Oh. Oh, hey, it's Porter. Well, this just got cursed quickly. Sometimes it's just gotta happen. Sometimes, you know, sometimes. It's that time of year. You thought the stream was cursed before this? Nah, man. Tonight's the night. Also, new Twitch categories are up, it looks like, because when I tried to set the stream to, like, creative, they actually opened up the new categories. So if you weren't aware, rather than just having creative be kind of like a catch-all term, what they're doing instead now is like, so what I'm doing right now would be like considered an art stream now, which is great, of course, but there's like some other like ASMR specific things that they've introduced, like some new IRL topics as well. I think even like some creative subcategories as well, but I think art is the one I should be using right now, right? That was like the first one that popped up when I like typed in creative, so I hope I got that right, but I don't know, we'll see as Galaxy Gallery streams go on. Also, I'm already feeling the sniffles coming, so let me take a fucking sip. Oh, I knocked over a water bottle, great. Yo, liking those swallowing sounds? Maybe this is an ASMR stream after all. Man, guys, I don't know, my allergies have been... Like, I've got fucking meds for the sniffles, but they've been getting real bad the past few days, I gotta say. And I take, like, some heavy-duty shit. I'm just cursed to live with this, and there's no escape. Yo, any allergy heads in chat know what the fuck is wrong with my body? Like, yeah, I guess the seasons are changing, but I don't care. I don't want a runny nose. I just want a, or a sniffly or nose or a stuffy nose. I just want a nose, please. Just let me live, please. They also removed communities in place of tags, which is basically just, alright guys, enough, we're gonna have control of this from now on. Yeah, specifically with communities, I've talked about that a little bit more, mostly just because everyone keeps saying, gee, Griffin, I thought this was a positivity stream, because the tags are gone and there is no positivity tag to tag my stream as anymore. So people like to point that out these days, and I've had to explain that. Should I do like the neck things? Like the this, and the this, and the this? Because I'd have to animate like that 16 times. I'll leave it be for now, I think, though. I'll focus on Scaredy Mouth and Zipper and Zippo and my big stupid Klonoa zipper. Allergies are your body rejecting the tree semen, so just swallow, scrub. Thanks, Femi, glad I read that. Let's see, what's left here? Oh, right, the hands and the flashlight. Also, here's a thing that's gonna happen. So if we go through this... Get out of here, Doc. Get out of here, Doc! So if we go through this frame by frame, I gotta be like very careful to bring my mouse down to these little buttons in the corner here, but not too far down because then it brings up the dock. But if we go through this frame by frame, also let's get rid of this. If I go back to layer 1 and turn that off, it should disable for all layers. Yep. So if we go through this and take a look at the way the hair moves, you'll notice that as I turn around, not only is there some spiffy momentum being carried, but you'll notice a particular cursed frame. Something that should not be seen by any mere mortal eyes. So what I'm actually going to do is have like the flashlight kind of like flare the camera at the same time to like kind of distract from this, but... And then, you know, turn around. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here, folks. Fight's over. But yeah, I'm hoping to do like... So as you can see here, I'm actually doing all of this in Photoshop. The last animation stream that I did, the King K. Rool project for the Donkey Kong reanimated thing, that was roughed in Photoshop, yes, but the rest of it was done in Flash, right? So you might be wondering why I'm doing it in Photoshop here, and I'll tell you why. Because if you look at the Keaton BRB, get out of here, Doc. This was actually also done in Photoshop, and then later added in to Final Cut Pro where I could do some additional things. So the animation of that hand, actually done in Final Cut. So basically what I do is I save the frames as like their own PNGs, and what that allows me to do is like some background layering stuff that I otherwise wouldn't be able to do. And it also lets me... What else does it let me do? It lets me like do kind of like some interesting like post-processing effects, which I plan to do a lot. Like with the light from the flashlight, I'm hoping this is gonna look like really good once I dive into that aspect of it. So once we're done with the clean line art, and yeah. So like with Diddy here, like maybe his tire swing can be like subtly like swaying to and fro when he flashes in the lightning. You know, I can add like subtle details like that that maybe I wouldn't be able to in Flash or Photoshop. I mean, probably I could, but I think it would probably be easier in Final Cut. That's just what I'm familiar with. What with my years of YouTube poop experience. Or is the bagel? Man, it's been a while since I've done one of those. I still wish Nintendo would like start doing more like live things and skits and stuff, because that's like what I used to make YouTube poops of. I think the last one I did was like of the January Switch presentation, but they haven't really done any like enough. Like there was like a little bit during like E3 and stuff, but like it's not enough to base like a full thing around. So unfortunately those days are over until we get our Goofy Reggie back. Until we get Bill! Until we get that back. Please, Reggie. You and you alone have the power. Passion project being drawn here, I had to take a call from my dad. Oh, hey Neon Blue. We're working on a BRB right now. God, the fucking fat Yoshi. I can give you a little look-see at how the rough looks. This was finished ahead of time, as well as the background. As you can see here, there's a rough surprises folder that contains not only Fat Yoshi, but also other stream memes like the Grapefruit Lady, Tommy Wiseau, Scott, President of Domino's Pizza, the Confraternity of Toast, Lucky Luciano, so on and so forth. We were debating whether or not to add Secret, the VeggieTales OC from a previous Galaxy Gallery stream, but that's still up in the air. But at the moment, we're currently lining all those frames, and we're going to be coloring them as well. Quick, someone make a Bill Nye the Science Guy joke. What? Why? Did I say anything about Bill Nye the Science Guy? Is he a cursed thing from the stream? I do not understand. Oh, please, please do add secret. Oh, well, I guess the votes are starting to roll in, folks. I might have to add secret. God, I don't know, though. I think that would be too scary. Fat Yoshi is one thing, but seeing, like, secret flicker in the background, like, most viewers don't even know what the fuck secret is, but, oh. Does he eat you? No, Yoshi does not eat me. Okay, here's what happens. I'll walk through, like, how this is going to play out, because where even is my mouse? Let me do the shake. Oh, there it is. There's the shake. Okay, this is actually a cool macOS feature, if you didn't know. If you don't know where your mouse is and you shake the mouse, then the cursor gets really big so you can see. Anyways, let me turn off this, and also Yoshi. So I'm gonna turn the background back onto full opacity. So on its own, the background is going to look like this, right? And the hallway is gonna be empty, right? But then there's gonna be like a flash of lightning and thunder, and suddenly, in the darkness, you see him. And so, you know, the light of the lightning fades away once more, and it's back into the shadows. And then it's like, oh no, hold on, I gotta figure out what layers are what here. There we go. And then if I turn the background back down to 50%, and then I'm gonna be like, oh, what was that? And I turn around. And right now there's no light from the flashlight currently being animated, but that will be added in post. So I turn around and I shine the light, and suddenly nothing is there. But then, see, here's the thing, because it needs to be a looping BRB. So instead of like animating myself turning back around, which I cannot do because you'll notice that I animated the hair to have a momentum to it that only works in the one direction. You see how it kind of like, okay, let me go through this a little bit slower because it looks like it's skipping frames and I mashed this too quickly. So when you start to turn around, you can see the movement of the hair and how it kind of like lags behind and how it like swooshes around, like based on the direction and the momentum and the speed of which I'm turning, which doesn't quite work in reverse because then it looks like the hair's kind of moving with a mind of its own. Like the hair is leading the movement rather than following it. It doesn't look good. So you can't just play it in reverse to keep the animation looping. So what I'm gonna do is that when I'm turning around, the light of the flashlight is gonna flicker out, and by the time it flickers back on, it'll just be back on this frame, and thus I'll be able to avoid having to draw any more than I've already drawn. That's that fucking optimization, baby. So that's how it's gonna work out. Speaking of, I think we just got the first frame done. So neat. You know what though, as a proof of concept, and just so that we have like all the colors we need, let's actually, just ahead of time, color this one in right now, you know? And then we'll be able to add the colors into the next ones as just we go on. I'll also have to name this line art-1 and color-1 as we go through, because each frame of animation is actually gonna operate on 2 layers, rather than just the standard, 1. I actually might do 3. I'm not sure if I want to do shading on this, but I feel like in a situation like this where it's like a dark, gloomy looking room, something like that would be like a really good addition, I think. I've had to use Macs in my classes, and it makes me upset because I gotta keep switching between the command key there and the control key here. Oh man, yeah. I remember when I first switched to Mac, that was like, took forever to get used to. And it certainly isn't much easier switching back, so I can't imagine having to do that, you know, frequently. Personally, I'm more of a command man myself, I prefer that, but I don't know. If control's your thing, you're allowed to be that way, you're allowed to make that choice. Okay. Thankfully, because I am a goddamn clown, I actually use this default Photoshop color palette as the swatch for Griffin skin. For everyone else, I always go, you know, much paler, and I go for like a specific color palette, but I've kind of just had to stick with this as time has gone on, because this is just the fucking palette I've established. I'm also thinking that I'm gonna have like a kind of a dark gray or a black hoodie on, and then like an orange shirt underneath, so it's like Halloween colors. Are you gonna die like Luigi in that Smash Simon trailer? Look out for death. Hair makes me think Jessie from Pokemon. Which one is that? I'm not familiar with the Pokemon anime. I like know Team Rocket, but I don't know which one is which. As soon as I color the hair, I'm sure I'll doodle out what I think is what here. Let's see, so isn't it like, one of them's like this, right? And then, you know, they've got the, how do you even draw anime eyes? What does that style look like? What is, well, Pokemon actually kind of does like eyes similar to what I do almost. At least in the games, I don't know if the anime is the same way. But then he's like, yes. Yes. And then there's another one who's like, I'm gonna give her big angry eyebrows too. And her hair's like a fucking, that. Ain't that how it is? Jessie is the red hair girl. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. No, but in the official Pokemon games, aren't the eyes like super vertical or whatever? Like that? Also, the music has hit its end, so let me switch to a different track here. But yeah, I think those are even like skinnier than the ones I do. Oh, I guess it just went to the next track in the playlist because they're playing from my BRB music playlist. Sure, I'll take it. Nighttime theme now. Actually, hold on. There is one unique color that I do use in this situation. And it's this one, for the eyes. That ain't no default Photoshop color palette. Although it might be Apple Watch brown, but slightly modified. But those aren't default Photoshop colors, those are just ripped palettes from the Apple Watch OS. They've got a good palette, man. Don't knock it till you try it. The green is to die for, though. Like this green, right here, Apple Watch green. This is a fucking green, let me tell ya. It's like, if you look at like a regular green, look at this. It's like dull, right? But this is almost like a slightly like bluish green to it, just very, very slightly. It's really, really vibrant. It's like a very like slightly off green, but it's so good. For the orange I'm gonna start with the shade of Apple Watch Coral and then maybe make it orange from there, and we'll see where that leads us. Oh, that's gorgeous, fuck. But that's the thing too, because they work as really, really good bases when you want to start like making modifications to them. They're so good. Oh shit, that's right, there's like the overlay shit that I gotta get too. I think I'll just draw a straight line on that to do the trick, right? Right, okay, cool. Oh, that's looking juicy. I'll also draw like arms in the sleeves because it looks kind of weird. Maybe I won't. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just leave those as is. Oh, this is cozy. The night themes in this game are so good. Though I probably shouldn't be like spending a ton of time listening to the soundtrack if I'm about to be playing it. And then for the hoodie, this should do the trick. Cool. Okay, we're getting there to establishing our spooky little palette. And then for the Zippo, for the Zippy Dippy, nice. Hooray! Oh, but we also gotta get the flashlight, of course. Let's see, for the rim, I'm probably gonna go for like a nice like yellow metallic kind of dealio, or maybe a silvery one, but I think yellow would complement the rest of the palette well, because that's also kind of Halloween-y. So maybe we'll start with this and then kind of move up, maybe make it a little oranger, make it a little bit lighter. And then there you go, you got a nice little gold. And then the flashlight will be a little bit darker than the hoodie. Maybe it'll be one swatch darker, maybe 2 swatches. We'll see what happens. Although 1 should do the trick. Yeah, okay. And then boom. I did it! And that's frame 1. Get ready to do that, what, 20 more times? Well, this actually has repeated frames of animation in it, so how many are in the rough frames folder? So there's actually 15. Neat. Okay, so now we'll set up a new layer, line art -2, color -2. What I might actually end up doing is getting all the layers done like now, because every time you make like a new layer, basically the way Photoshop GIFs work is that everything that you change on this very first like frame of animation persists throughout the rest of the thing. So if I turn this back on, you'll notice that in every preceding frame, it gets turned on. And you can turn it back off by just selecting it and, re-disabling it, and then it only appears in the first frame. But the thing is that you kind of gotta do that every single time you make a new frame, so if I just make the frames now, I could possibly avoid it. I also might group these as just frame 1, frame 2, for simplicity's sake. Which means, actually, I only need to name these line art and color, because, it needs to be the one layer of categorization. This is the most fun part of Galaxy Gallery. I don't know why I said it in like a Peter Griffin voice. Do you offer GIFs as commissions? I feel like you'd call it a GRIF if you do. I would not. Actually, it's pronounced Driffin. Well, it only makes sense to do branding, I suppose. Also, digging your organization XIII code? Ain't that a Roman numeral? Is that 13? What the fuck is organization 13? Is this an anime thing? I don't know much about computers. Also, my god, I'm getting so goddamn sniffly. Let me get some tissue. Oh, it's happening, it's happening! It's from Kingdom Hearts? Oh, thanks, I hate it. So let's see, I believe it's these first 3 frames that like loop as far as like the shivering goes, so I'll probably start with that, just like these first 3 as far as the organization goes. And then we can continue adding more from there. And color. At first when I read that you said you'd liked my organization 13 coat, I thought you meant like, you were liking my organization skills or something like that. I'm like, why thank you? But I see now that you mean something much more sinister. Now, if you take a look at the rough here, you'll actually notice that, well, you'll notice quite easily, that these first 3 frames are actually just the first frame, but like with certain bits like selected and kind of rotated or dragged around or, modified in ways like that. So you may ask, well, Griffin, why don't you do that to the clean line art? Because again, if we turn these things off, yeah, you can see it's just the same assets being moved around a little bit. But the reason I want to do this is because this way it'll look a little bit less like, what I just described it as, and more like kind of boiling, because if the lines are unique on each frame, you get it looks a little bit more lifelike. It looks like it's not a completely motionless object. So even though bits are being dragged around and that kind of in and of itself avoids that possibility, I think this is the better way to go about it. But that's just me. To answer your question though, I do not do GIFs. I do not do animation commissions. I guess I don't publicly offer them. But if somebody were to like ask, hey, can you do like an animation, like a small BRB thing for like my stream or something like that, then I would do that. But like that would be a very pricey commission, and it would really depend on like, I don't know what it would be that I'm animating, because like right now I'm animating something like fairly simple. You know, it's a hoodie. It's some pretty simple hair. It's flat colors. It can be, you know, and there's not too much to handle all at once. However, if it was something like, oh yeah, can you animate this fucking Fire Emblem character? And it would be like, you know, these crazy complex outfits, you know, really like over the top, and each frame would be like packed with like tons of stuff to keep track of, like, it would absolutely have to vary. But hey, if you're asking for a friend, hit me up. I've honestly always wanted to do like a lot more like animated content for the stream, and not as far as like whips go, but just in the sense of like, you know how there's like that little pop-up where it's like, oh, so-and-so just followed or gave bits or subscribed or whatever. I've always wanted, if you look at them now, they're just the same assets that I use for the Twitch cards on the Twitch page. But sooner or later, I want those to be like unique animated things based on like the scenario. I don't know. I think that'd be pretty neat because what's the tool that I even use? Streamlabs actually does support animated thingies being used in place of the images that are there right now. So in the future, I think that'd be a great thing to add to the stream. A moment of silence for Snake's butt in Smash. Unrelated, but yes, it is a great loss. Thankfully, Corrin's is still as juicy as ever. That's what really counts in my book. Guys, when I get Smash on day one, the first thing I'm going to do is 100% take like 1,000,000 screenshots of Corrin's ass. And it's so much easier now too, because with the Wii U, there was kind of a way to do it. I don't know if you guys know about this, but if you hit the home button on the Wii U, you get like that little standby screen, right? And there's like a couple of things you can do without closing the app, like, you know, Miiverse and stuff. And that does allow you to upload screenshots, and that would be one way to like pull the data, right? But if you look in the Wii U browser, I don't know if it's like automatically added to your bookmarks or if it's something you need to like search out and find, but there's actually like an image uploading tool provided by Nintendo. So even though Miiverse is like currently down, there actually is a way to upload Wii U screenshots through the browser. It's like the Wii U image sharing upload tool or something like that. But yeah, you can share something from the gamepad or from the TV, and it still works. So there's like a couple of like Corrin reaction images that I occasionally use that I took using that tool from Smash 4. But thankfully, now I'll be able to recreate them all better than ever with Smash Ultimate, because he'll be even shinier in that game. Honestly, David Hayter being back is great. Hope you share some of those shots. I sure will. What's curious to me about David Hayter coming back is he apparently, like, someone asked him like whether or not he was doing new codec lines. If you guys weren't aware, in Smash Brawl, where Snake was last seen, if you do his taunt like on his stage, it'll do like this little Easter egg based on Metal Gear Solid, where there's like a unique, like, oh, Colonel, what's up with this Yoshi? And then there's like unique dialogue for like every single character. But so people were like, oh, I wonder what he's gonna say about, I don't know, Dark Pit or whatever a new character is about, or like King K. Rool. You know, Dark Pit and King K. Rool, the only two new Ultimate characters. But people were really curious to see what was gonna happen with that, and so far, no word actually. We don't know which way that's gonna go. Also, let me like go back and forth on these two frames, because I gotta see what happens to the chest here. Okay, so it stays like that, gotcha. Doc, please, I'm begging you. Okay, so going back and forth between these two frames. Yeah, it's a little wiggly, but that's probably for the best. And then the shoulder goes up. Nice. And that covers that. Although it does not cover the back, nor the hoodie. He talked to Otakon about Yoshi, Griffin. He sure did. Let's put that back. Oh, Bork? I know some of my codec lore. Ooh, that's a good-ass circle, if I do say so myself. about redrawing this flashlight every single time, though. It is a little bit more of a geometric shape that requires, you know, effort and artistic knowledge, neither of which I really have much of. Okay, there we go. Oh, we gotta still draw the inner ring, though. The inner sanctum. There we go. And now the sleeveys, and that should do the trick. That ought to do it. And draw the horizontal line like that. And this bit should be done. Yep, perfect. Okay. So rough frames. Let's turn these off as we... Oh, actually, I didn't get any of the face details. Let's go back in and add those. Although, I might want to go without for now, because maybe before I do, like, the whole turning around thing, the eyes can, like, slowly slide over, like, in this direction. I'm drawing them on a layer that is not visible at this moment. But they can, like, slide over, and then the turning around will happen. So maybe what I'll do is I'll leave them, like, blank for now, and then I'll get them, like, all in one go when they actually, like, do move over. That could work, that could work. But the mouth can stay. And the colors can still happen, I just gotta subtract a little bit from the eyes when I do add those back in. It's doable, it's doable. Oh geez, I need to get this too. It's a very precise line to follow. It's only 5 pixels wide. Oh, okay. Man, and it's so weird to me too, because I always draw... This is, whatever double of 1080p is, it's, 30-something by 2860, as opposed to 1920 by 1080. And even, like, I consider, like, 5-pixel lines to be, like, really thin, because I usually draw at, like, 5,000 or 6,000, like, you know, in terms of canvas size. But even though I'm using 5 pixels on this, like, it feels really thick for what the resolution is. But not that I mind, because I feel like for something like this, thicker lines maybe, like, helps the style of what I'm going for here. So, it's not all bad. I feel like Snake and Raiden are on the same level as Dick Grayson from DC. He's known for having a great back, and he is... What the fuck is DC? And this is like Metal Gear Solid lore. I don't know a thing about it. I've never played one of those games. I would like to. If I do, I want to try Snake Eater, but getting a hold of, like, any playable version of that, I don't know if that would be possible. I don't know, I feel like those games have, like, a style that I would like. Also, I assume that there's a reason people like Kojima so goddamn much. Oh, DC Comics? Ew! Fellas, I was just talking last night about how I dislike these things. Please do not bring them into my chat. Is this a new rule that I gotta have to enforce? Like no anime? I think there's a port of Snake Eater on 3DS, but then it's a matter of even getting a hold of that, because that's something that I would want to stream. Okay, get the orange from that, drop it in there, nice. Get the gray from that, drop it in there, nice. See, now that's looking good. You said comic movies, I think, not comic books specifically. You know what? That is what I said. Fair enough. You got me. Oh, but that's very scary now. So what am I gonna do about this first little thing that already has eyes in it? I might just retroactively get rid of them. I'm on the wrong layer. Yeah, okay, hold on. Frame 1, line art. There we go. Yeah, we'll add these back in when we get like the 3 base things done, and then we can animate the eyes independently. And we can probably do like some more interesting things with them from there. In fact, we might not animate them at all, and maybe what we'll do is we'll, at least for the eyes sliding over a bit, we'll add those eyes in post in Final Cut so we can get like a lot more like precise with that sort of thing. Because it's not that doing those things in Photoshop is impossible, it's just that with the way the GIF system in Photoshop works, it's not super good. I don't know, it's not quite as like seamless to work with, you know? Like, I feel like we would probably save more time, especially because this whole GIF thing that we're doing right now, like this whole timeline that we're building, is actually really only for proof of concept. It's not going to be a part of the final project. And the end of things, we're going to be exporting this as a PNG sequence, and then just having that, just putting that together manually in Final Cut. But having this gives us a little bit of an idea of things like, you know, what the momentum is going to look like, and generally like what the flow is going to look like, which is still fairly necessary for what we're going for here. Because if I don't know what this product is going to look like until it gets into the Final Cut, then that's no good. So having this is a great like feature to test animations with. But I wouldn't say it's like ideal for making animations unless it's like really simple stuff. You know, like, do I have it still? Hold on, let me see if I still have that. Hold on, I gotta drag this away to OBS. Is she here? I know she's gotta be. I know she's here. I put her here, didn't I? I gotta find her. But I forget what I named the file, so I'm just like looking at the thumbnails as I scroll. Man, I've got a lot of great folders here. Or images. Oh, it's here. Like this. This was made in Photoshop. Although, a better artist wouldn't have made it at all. What other good things are in this folder? Oh, this is good. This is a good one. From Tails Gets Trolled. That's a good one. Anyways, as far as frames go, it appears to me, let's actually make Fat Yoshi persistent across all frames, like so. And then more importantly, get the last quivering frame done, because the next few frames just repeat those initial 3, and then it just goes into the turning animation. So we'll get into the next bit pretty quickly after this next frame. So with that, let's turn off frame 1, turn on frame 3, and do the line art one more time. But first I gotta shrink the brush size to 5. There we go. Now we're cooking. So how about you guys? How have you been doing tonight? Max said he got wisdom teeth taken out? That's wild. I feel like, I forget which stream this was, but I feel like I had a conversation with somebody about like old YouTube and how after dentist videos were really popular. I think I remember somebody like bringing that up. Man, what stream was that? It feels weird to me that there's like these conversations that I have and these streams that I do, and I just, you know, if sometimes when you point at one particular stream like, oh, what happened in Okami Part 6? I would just like shrug. Although, I believe that's the one where I drew the dick on the mask and we had to go through the temple. And we fought the big bad? Is that what happened in part 6? I think it is. Because I remember the thumbnail having the mask on it. See, but if you were to say Okami Part 4, I probably wouldn't know what we talked about in that stream. Probably about... Was that the one where Waka was in? Hold on. Hold on, let me see what thumbnail Part 4 is. Stream, thumbnails, Okami 4. No, that's the one where Fume was in. Okay. Explains why I don't remember that stream, because it was just busy work that I hated. I think Waka was 3. But you see what I mean, though? It's like... I think in total now, I have, 280 streams on the channel, so... it's not, you know, to a point anymore where I could possibly memorize, you know, every little bit about every little stream. Which is definitely, like, now is one thing, but I think, like a year or, like, 2 years or whatever down the line, it's gonna be, like, really surreal to think about, where people are gonna, like, bring up, like, maybe, like, a favorite moment that, like, I don't remember happening or something like that. Like, man. That's crazy to me. It's so crazy. Oh my god. Although, I think the Room stream, I'm gonna remember that one for a long time. Oh, gotta connect this, gotta connect this. Maybe we'll do the hood from here. Right near the tip of Yoshi's foot. Guys, do you even think that Big Yoshi is, like, that much of a stream meme? Because I would like to think so. Like, it's an image that I really like, but I don't know, like, how much of, like, a tie he has with, like, the identity of the stream. Not in the same way that Scott, president of Domino's Pizza, or, Tommy Wiseau do. I'll tell you what, though, while we're at it, why don't you guys suggest some other, like, cursed things from the stream? Because I'm sure there's, like, plenty that you guys can bring up that, like, I wouldn't remember. Like Secret, for example. I would not have thought of Secret if you guys didn't bring that up. Grapefruit Lady's already on there. She's definitely related to the identity of the stream. Truly woven into the DNA. I always forget, like, what to do with these sleeves, because I think every single time I've not followed the, yeah, the guide for them. Like, they just got really big on this one, and now, I don't know what's... Maybe I'll make them a little bit smaller. Like, God, I don't know. time I'm doing some variations with this second arm and the associated sleeve and hand. Like, is that gonna work? How does that look as a boil? Yeah, actually that's decent. Okay, get the back, and that should do it for the line art. For the boil, at least. Oh, and the flashlight, actually. I almost wish, I mean, I'm not gonna go back and change it now, but I probably should have, like, strayed from what the line art is showing now, or what the rough guide shows now. Because what it's showing is the same, like, angle rotated, but I'm thinking maybe if I, like, did some, like, a unique frame on the flashlight every single time and, like, made it a little more three-dimensional looking, like, as the rest of the body, like, shook, then I could probably create a pretty cool effect, but unfortunately it's too late. It's really not, actually, but basically what I'm saying is it's code for I don't want to.
I don't wanna! No!
And bring it around and we're good to go. Also, the music is about to change again, and I actually do not want it to go to Delfino Plaza. Let's do Spagonia Night. Yo, can I get a fucking Spagonia? Oh, I do like me some Spagonia. Alright, then we'll do the inside of the flashlight, and that should do it.
That ought to do it!
Okay, so turn off the rough frames, and yep, let's grab the line art from the last layers. You know, actually, everything that I need is in the recent colors bar. I can probably use it from there. Guys, speaking of needing to get my MacBook fixed, I miss having the touch bar. Remember in, like, the earlier Galaxy Gallery streams, like, from before it broke, where, like, I could use it, and I was doing, like, this cool shit with the palettes and the sliders and stuff? Like, I've managed, I guess, but, like, damn, that was a great tool for art. The keyboard I can live with being a little bit janky, but man, that's what really makes me want to send it in to get it fixed, because damn. I know a lot of people like to dunk on it a lot because it's, oh, who would need that? I miss my F keys. But honestly, I use it so much more than I would have used any of, like, the F key stuff. Like, just from, like, my workflow. Like, both in Photoshop and, like, Final Cut, and even, like, Safari and shit, like, oh, it's a miracle. Guys, the touch bar lets you skip ads. Keyboard can't do that. And not in, like, the same way that a skip ad button would work, too. It's, like, it's the best. So, basically, when, like, an ad plays, right? The website, or whatever, dictates whether or not you get to skip the ad. But on the touch bar, it shows, like, the media controls for, like, fast forwarding and rewinding and, like, seeking within that video. And typically when an ad plays on, like, YouTube or Twitch, right, the functions of, you know, scrubbing and whatnot, at least in the YouTube scrubber, are locked, but the touch bar remains unlocked. So basically what you can do is just put your finger on the touch bar, scroll to the end of the ad, and just let it end naturally. So even if it's, like, a 30-second ad or, you know, whatever, or, like, a minute, or, like, something that you can't skip, touch bar's got you covered. And it's like, it's the most cursed thing too, because the touch functionality on the touch bar, also I did not draw the line that goes here, the touch functionality on the touch bar still works, it's just the screen that doesn't. So I can still kind of, like, memorize, like, the locations of certain things. Like, for example, when I'm doing, you know, gameplay streams and I gotta use Elgato, there's a shortcut that lets you initiate the full screen thing instantly rather than having to, you know, just not move the mouse for long enough and letting the Elgato overlay take over or go away or whatever it does. You can just press F10 to make it go away by holding down, you know, because the F keys are still there on the touch bar, right? You just have to hold down the FN key on the Mac, and it'll bring all the F keys back. But because, you know, F keys or not, screen's gone, screen's dead. So you kind of just have to guess where the F10 key is, and I've kind of like muscle memoried my way to victory with that one. So I can still kind of do it, but you really just have to tap around and kind of see what works until you get it. And sometimes you hit the wrong F key, and sometimes your windows go all over the place, and sometimes that's shit. Okay, let's see. Let's get the shirt. Oh, they got the zipper too, okay. I was hoping this was gonna be easy, but I guess not. There we go. I don't know, I'm just hoping like one day I'll conveniently be abroad in a place that has an Apple store, and maybe I can drop it off there so that I can get it like fixed in a few days rather than like wait several weeks, because like basically with like these models of MacBooks, they've since like fixed the issue, I think, in like the 2018 model or whatever, but with these ones there's like it's just like an actual defect with the design of the hardware, so there's no like permanent solution to it, and it's also like a huge pain in the ass to like take apart the machine to fix the actual specific keys. So I believe the protocol is just to replace the whole bottom casing, which does, as a matter of fact, include the touch bar. And because the keyboard defect is just covered for everybody, whether or not you have AppleCare, I think I can just like, I mean, I do have AppleCare, so I don't think it matters to me, but I think basically what can happen is that I can send it in for the keyboard thing, and then the touch bar will get replaced just as like a side effect of that. Anyways, with that, get out of here, Doc. With that, we've got these frames done, so let's go into the next little few and turn off the rough frames and turn on the working frames in the next couple of thingies. So let's see, this will be frame 4, so frame 1, go back in, turn on liner and color, frame 5, frame 2, 6, frame 3, what would 7 be? Oh, 6 is actually, okay, so, wait, 4 and, hold on now, are 4 and 1 the same? They're not, interesting. Okay, so it only loops twice, and then, so would this be, hold on. No, you can see that frame 3 is still turned on in this one, so that's intended. So if I turn the rest of these off, the rough layers, okay. So on 7, that's where it starts becoming new frames again, gotcha. So let's take a look at what we got so far. I mean, it lasts very short, but line art-wise, ignoring the cursed eyelessness, looking good, I think. That's some decent quivering, I can live with that. Okay, so frame 4 now would look like what? Let's take a look-see. Yeah, so this is when the eyes begin to close. Now you see here, this is still kind of going in the like original direction where the eyes don't really move at all, and then they close and then the turnaround happens. So from here I might continue to do the same thing that I was doing before where, you know, I've been leaving the eyes blank because this is probably something Final Cut can take care of. Although maybe not, because of the eyelids. I could probably make it work with like masks or whatever. We'll see. We'll get there when we get there. If it is, and if it does end up being a problem, we still have like the PSD with like all the separate line art and color layers. So if it really is something we need to go back to, it shouldn't be too big of a deal to handle. That said, let's turn that off. Let's turn on frame 4 now and get this taken care of. Also, I've been noticing that the frame 1 group is turned on in all of these layers, and I will not have it. So if we go into the rest of these now and then turn on frame 1 like that, and that's how it's done. Cool. Although now I need to turn them back on in a couple of later frames. Okay. So frame 4, We're gonna turn on line art and color as well. Also, there's only 15 rough frames, and I specifically renamed them frames instead of layers to avoid the whole layer 1, layer 2 business. What's named layer... oh, gradient. There's layer 19. Die. Now when we make a new layer, it should be layer 1. I mean, we're renaming them anyway, so it really shouldn't matter, but here I am being a petty little fool. Regardless. I don't know, man. Like, you may think that, you know, oh, Griffin, what are you doing? This seems a little unnecessary. You don't got to just leave the frames as whatever. But this is, like, already pretty early into things. Like, we've still got, we're about a third, I'd say, into all the frames. And we've got, like, a ways to go still. And so my line of thinking is that, like, as this project gets, like, a lot bigger and, like, a lot more complex, we're really going to be, like, patting ourselves in the back for adding in that organization, because it's going to make it really easy to, like, nail down specific aspects of the project. And, you know, if something goes wrong, we'll know what to do. We'll know how to diagnose the problem more easily. Honestly, like, I'm not sure. I mean, it seems silly because it's like, I'm making like a brand new BRB and it's like this fancy, like, cool thing. But it's only going to, like, be good for 1 month. So it may seem like a bit of a waste, but I think this is going to be like a nice little, maybe I'll do like monthly BRBs or something like that. I don't know. I think if I do any further, I would want them to be, like, more general use BRBs rather than, like, being things that I'm gonna have to, like, you know, because once November comes along, can't really use this anymore, can I? Until next year, but I think by then I'll be like, oh, this looks like garbage, I want to make a new one. And as much as I like the Keaton BRB, I think, like, some variety of what's there would be really nice to have. I don't know what else is going to be done from here. I mean, if anyone from chat wants to make BRBs as well, that's also welcome. Because I know lots of other streamers like to use, like, fan art as BRB stuff, and I have gotten some of that, just nothing in the form of a BRB. But you guys are welcome to make those if you'd like. I would be more than happy to use stuff like that. Okay, there we go. I feel like the more times I go through aligning this, the faster I'm getting at it. Although I haven't really drawn the head, so maybe that's why I'm like, oh, I'm getting to the flashlight so quickly now. I wonder why that is. Turns out it's because I didn't draw anything else. But regardless of that, I think I can still kind of feel it. Oh, unless these eyes get in the way. Oh no, we're good, we're good. We got this. And by we, I mean me. And by me, I mean I actually don't, because this is immediately... whatever slight presence of success there once was is now immediately gone. Okay, there we go. I might add like a bit of lusciousness, a bit of thickness to the eyelashes here too, as they close. Oh, but it's tough to like balance it. I wanted it to be like a uniform thickness, but I'm kind of running into a sawing a leg off of an uneven table kind of situation here. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. I'm still going back in. Here I go, digging in again. So how about you guys, Chad? Do you have like any Halloween plans this month? Or is it too early to say? Man, I don't know if I want to do, or if I'm going to end up doing jack-o'-lanterns this year. I didn't do it last year, but I usually do, and I feel like, you know, aw, man, kind of missed out on that one, but... My pumpkin game is fucking on point. If you guys could see, you would understand. I think the last one I did was either like a Splatoon one or something like that. I don't know. It was like a little squid. Okay, now we're coming to wrapping up the line art here. Where did the other arm go here? Does that come back in the next frame? Oh god, it does. Or does it? Oh no, it does. It's just that this is persisting across all the frames now, so I gotta turn that off and then turn it back on this frame. There we go. So here, what happens? What happens between here and here? Hold on a sec. Let's turn this off, and I might have to like go back in and add something in with the rough frames. Yeah, here's what I gotta do. I gotta set this to 100%. Gotta set this to 25, and then this one to 50, and then we can handle the in-between on 4. So let's crank up the brush size and see what's going on with the arm here. Turning off the background might help as well. Let's see. So it goes like that. That's what's missing. Gotcha. Okay. So we'll turn these back off, set the opacity back to 50%, and turn the clean version back on. And that's where the shoulder goes. Alrighty, so finish up the chest, add in that squiggly little mouth, and we are done with this frame of 15 frames. Okay. Yeah, looks good, looks good. Let's, oh, but did I get the line that goes behind here? I did not. Ah, okay. And that fits behind the... Okay, cool. Cool! Alright, make sure everything is accounted for here. Nice, okay. Or is it? It seems a little too close to the inside. There we are. You know, I wonder how the zipper boils, because I feel like the shape isn't too uniform across these frames. Let's zoom out and see how that looks. Also, what is happening here? Is this not where the eyes close, or does it cycle for 3 more times? If it's 15 frames and 6 of them are loops, no, it should be 20 then. So this should be... So why does it go back to frame 2 on this one? Shouldn't it be frame 7? But then why is frame 7 here? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. Maybe it does loop 3 times. I thought it looped twice. Hold on, I could be wrong about this. So if, in theory, if it were to go 1, 2, 3 again, and then it did 4, 5, and so on. Yep, that would do the trick. That explains it. Okay. So it loops 1 more time. Well, shit, we'll finish up frame 4 here for now, but we'll have to move it once we're done with it. So let's see, where was I with orange? I was here with orange. Although it might be easier to do the skin first and then just using the paint bucket to fill in the orange void that is left behind. The pumpkin-shaped heart, the pumpkin-shaped hole in my pumpkin-shaped heart. Almost. There we are. Okay. Yeah, thankfully half of these colors that I have to refer back to, I mean, thankfully in terms of convenience, not in terms of, you know, looking goodness, but we do have the slight advantage of having some of these colors just pinned not to the recently used swatches, which is really only helpful insofar as... because they get jumbled around, right? And that kind of... there's no, like, consistency in, like, developing the muscle memory of, like, where to click for what color, but with the standard swatches, there is a little bit of that. Like, I know where brown is always going to be in the swatches, but not quite with the recent colors. I gotta, like, you know, take that split second to actually, like, fish it out with my eyes. And when you start adding that up, it kind of wastes a bit of time. Like, it's all the way back here. Like, I know it's here, though. And then orange. Orange I'll give it a pass, because it actually stands out pretty boldly compared to the rest of the colors that we're using here. But still, I won't let them get away with it. See, but this is the kind of situation where the touch bar would come in, like, really handy, because... modify, expand. Because... you do get, like, a little bit of that in-between. What I always like to do with the touch bar is develop, like, a unique palette for, like, each project as I do them. Okay, I gotta get that one, then I gotta go to the next frame. And so that way I could have, like, the quote-unquote convenience of the recently used colors, but also the convenience of being able to develop a muscle memory for, like, where each color is. And it's just faster to, you know, pop a key rather than... I don't know why I said pop rather than tap. to tap a key rather than, you know, moving the mouse all the way across the screen, especially when you're working with, like, a larger display like this. It's super convenient, but it is also dead now, and I will never have it again, so... That said, frame 4 is done, so let's now get rid of it and make this back into a 1, 2, 3 kind of dealio. And then put 4 on frame 10? Is that how we're doing this? Also, the background has to come back on in this one. Okay. Now let's see how that looks. Let's also toggle this back on for all frames. It's getting there, it's getting there. It's on the right track for sure. And it is on pace with all the other frames we have picked out, so that definitely was what was missing. It just looped 3 times instead of 2. And I was a fool. And I'm the fool. Alright, let's see. Frame 5 then. Let's bust that open. Yo, let's bust! So this is gonna be liner, it's gonna be color, and it's gonna be frame 5. See though? You see that shit with the keyboard where it did 2 A's instead of 1? That wasn't me, that was the keyboard. Yeah, now we're gonna be drawing like a little bit more dynamically. And by drawing, I mean just tracing the rough guides. But, you know, all the other frames that we were doing are kind of just like slight variations on that original pose. I mean, kind of all animation is slight variations on an original pose, if you think about it. But now we're actually like kind of initiating like the turning part of the animation. So this should be where things maybe get a little more interesting. We will see. Also, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with like the scheme, I guess, of this, because what I usually, well, what I have done once, but always set out to do is that the Galaxy Gallery like logo, right, is like a blue on lighter blue kind of thing. Like the colors of it are based on the colors of Photoshop, because it is a stream in which I use Photoshop. But I have variants, like there's a red on red one for when I use Flash, because those are the colors of Flash. Or I guess Adobe Animate, as it's called these days. But so this is like an animation stream, right? So you would think I would use the red logo, but it's done in Photoshop, so which one would I use? I also wanted to make like a rainbow on rainbow one, or a gray on or a black on rainbow, or something like that, because that's like the colors of Final Cut, but I never really managed to make that one work. But given the fact that we are gonna have to put this together in Final Cut sooner or later, I don't know if I'll stream that, but if I do, then we're gonna have to think about, you know, what's gonna happen with that. What I'm gonna do for that logo, because I can't use a Photoshop logo for it like some kind of fool. There we go. Yeah, who knows? Maybe with my I tried it back then, but maybe with my modern art skill, I'll be able to do what I could not originally. I technically could do it as like a part of tonight's Galaxy Gallery stream, because it would be making the Final Cut logo in Photoshop, but I've got bigger fish to fry at the moment. I got bigger fish to fry. Alright, give me those spheres, boy! Yeah, I mean, there's definitely parts of this project that I want to do, like, off-stream, you know, like, for example, all the roughing and the background, which I already did, but as time goes on, I think this is probably going to be, like, maybe a 2-stream long endeavor. I don't think I'm going to get it done tonight, but I think the goal for tonight is to get the clean line art done, and then maybe next time, like, we'll do all the different, like, the characters or whatever, you know, like secret and whatever. But maybe I'll do that off stream at the same time. I don't know. I'm still not quite sure how I want to break down the progress of this. I'll just fucking keep working on it off stream, and then we'll see where we are by the next time I want to do a Galaxy Gallery. But I don't know, because the thing is, like, it's already October, so the more time I devote for, like, oh, I'll hold off on doing this because I want to stream it, you know, that just means really that I'm going to be not having that's another day that I'm not going to have this BRB for this month. So I really have to get this done as soon as possible, if you think about it in that lens. Speaking of lens, let's get the lens on this flashlight done. So hoodie, zipper, and the hair is all that's left, plus a tiny little line on the back down here. And also this hoodie bit and the shirt. And also the line for the rest of the zipper. For the zippy skip yahoo. Oh, this persists across all frames again. That's right. Let's turn that off, turn that back on. There we go. So comparing the line of the zipper from there to here. Okay, that looks good. Does that though? No, that's actually in line with the curvature of the rough liner, so that works. Okay, finish up the hair and we're good to color. Oh, it sounds like the music's fading. Let's see what's up next in the related videos. I think we already did Apodos Night, right? That's the one with the acoustic guitar. It very much is. Let's see, then what else we got here? Windmill Isle, Night. Oh, these are the stage themes now. Kind of want to stick with the Hub World ones, because those are like way chiller. Which is great for a chill stream like this. But I don't want to play this one again. Is there like... Hold on. No, that was the first one. Oh, I gotta hit back twice here. So this was Spagonia Night. How about Spagonia Day? Is that related videos? Surprisingly, it's not. So what do we have here? We've got this, Missouri Night. Is this one good? What is this one? I don't know what this one is. Let's listen. Could be chill. Let's see. Kind of reminds me of a Mario and Luigi game. Okay, let's get to coloring. Oh no, I can fuck with this. This is good. Oh, this is nice. What the fuck? I mean, this would have been nice maybe to discover organically when I play this game for myself later, but oops. I already played the Wii version. I'm sure I've heard it to some degree, just buried in my fucking consciousness. In my 9-year-old self somewhere. Yo, we got some claps in here? Damn. Yo, this slaps! Oh, I'll tell you what would also be a great source of music though, besides just Sonic Unleashed. Maybe some like Luigi's Mansion music or something like that? Like some spooky music for the, you know, for the season. That could be good. Yeah, after this is done, it's looping business. Maybe that's what we'll move on to next. Okay, get the zipper, get the hoodie, get the sleeveys. Oh, and get the, you know, big line that goes across the bottom. and then the sleeveys and the hoodie and whatnot. And we should be ready, and the hood. Can't have a hoodie without the hood. And we should be pretty ready to go to the next frame soon enough. Let's actually invert and get this a little bit here. I mean, it's gonna appear for like a split second, so nobody's gonna see it, but I'll know. I wonder how many like small details that I've done like that, where it's like, oh, I don't need to do it, but I'll do it because I'll know. And then like, you know, time passes and I don't even recognize the sacrifices I've gone to avoid shit like that. Okay, grab the orange is the only one that I'll use from the thing because it stands out, but the rest I'm gonna have to just manually pop back between frames to use the color picker. Less mouse movement anyways, less finger exercise. Or I suppose it would be the wrist that's moving that, isn't it? I mean, I'm using a trackpad, so it's kind of like a combination of both. Okay, pop in the white, and there we go. Frame it done. Let's see how that's looking in the grand scheme of things now. Oh, it's getting there, it's getting there. Oh, man. This is gonna look so good when it's done. Man, especially when, like, once, like, the lighting stuff is done as well, because, like, these are basically, the colors that you're seeing right now are, like, fully lit, but in the actual, you know, the thing, it's gonna, you know, have some, like, filters going over it that make it look, like, darkened, and then the parts that you're seeing right now that are, you know, the quote-unquote standard colors are only going to be what it looks like when under the light of the flashlight. I'm hoping, that's what I'm hoping to accomplish, but I think with masks I'll be able to do that, right, in Final Cut? It should be doable. I guess we'll see. Oh, that's looking good. I'm liking this, fellas, I'm liking this. And so far we haven't, like, lost any details, right? Like, the hood and the zipper is, like, there in every frame. The sleeves are all there. Yeah, okay, so far so good. So this would be frame 6 now. Let's make the group in the appropriate layers, and we'll get started on that one. Oh, frame 1. No. This is color, and then this is line art. That's right. See, double A's. It did it again. Okay. Default colors, brush size 5. Let's do it. This would probably actually be further out in this direction if that's like the way the hair is swinging, so I might readjust that. Like so. Yeah. Fellas, this music is chill as fuck. It reminds me of like a GameCube era game. You know, the best kind. I mean, I guess this did release for the PS2 as well, so I guess technically, yeah. Man, remember that? Remember, oh god. Remember how, like, late into, like, the PS3 360 generation that the PS2 was, like, still getting games? That was wild. Like, didn't the last PS2 game release in, like, 2014 or something like that? It was, like, one of the FIFA games that they were, like, still releasing it for the PS2. Oh, but here's the thing with this frame, though. The little line from the zipper isn't there, so we gotta add that back in. Can't imagine that'd be too tough to handle, though. It just goes right down the middle like that, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Also, though, persists across all frames, so you gotta turn it off on number 1 and turn it back on number 12, like so. There we go. What am I gonna do here? Oh, that's a unique little challenge. I think actually what I did right now actually works. I think I'm making that harder than it needs to be. That said, there's no inner ring for the flashlight, so I'll have to add that in myself and just hope that it kind of lines up with everything else. Not that I was really putting much thought into it when I was doing the rough. But we will see. That should do the trick. Okay. Let's add the shirt and finish up the hair. You know, it's really starting to like swing outwards. Oh shit, but here's a detail that might come back to bite us in the ass. If you look, let me finish this last swoop. Yeah. Okay, so if you look to the back here, you can see, like, in this beginning frame, right, you have, like, these two big swoops. I don't know what you would call them. Chocolate oranges. This one kind of looks like an orange slice. I don't know. But if you look at the last one, there's 5 in total in the back. The middle one representing, well, the middle of the head. So, there's 2 that kind of flare out to each side, right? So if you look here, then they're not visible here, but as the turn occurs, you can see that suddenly, whoa, they're all the way out here now. So I have to like go back and actually add in in-betweens to explain how they got there rather than just having them like appear out of nowhere. I hope that's not too time consuming. Then this will kind of have like do that. That's clever. That could look good. Emphasis on could. Alright, just get the eyes and the face and the whatnot, and we are done with this frame. This has been a cozy night so far. I haven't worked on animation in a while, so this is nice to get back into. Especially when it's something that I feel like... I mean, I felt motivated to work on the King K. Rool thing, don't get me wrong, but, like, I feel like I did that more out of, like, obligation to the deadline rather than, like, being super, you know... What's the word I'm looking for? I suppose enthusiastic or, like, personally motivated, or I don't know what you would call it, but I don't know. I'm feeling more of a drive to work on this, so it's fun to, like, really sink into it. Okay, that should be the last of the lines, aside from, of course, the squiggly mouth. So let's get to coloring. What's your favorite type of thing to work on? That's a good question. I feel like I work on, like, a lot of stuff. I do game dev, I do video editing, I do art, I do animation. I think my favorite thing to work on is the stream. And streaming is one thing for sure. I really do enjoy it. I think it makes working on stuff like this, like... Because whether or not I'm streaming, you know, like, as I said, I might do some of this off-stream later. But I feel like streaming with the Galaxy Gallery things helps keep me, like, more focused. Because sometimes I might just, like, fuck off and, like, browse Twitter or Reddit for, like, half an hour and get, like, you know, distracted. But I feel like streaming this and having, like, something to talk about keeps me, like, engaged enough where I don't feel like I'm, like, bored with what I'm doing and then I need to distract myself with something else. I mean, even when I'm working on my own time, like, listening to a podcast or an audiobook is also, like, a good little solution to that. Or just having, like, music playing gets you, like, really, like, motivated. But it's I feel like that sort of thing isn't really, like, limited by the medium or the genre. I think it's just, you know, whether the content is what I'm into, because I feel like I can get pretty, like, sunk into, like, whatever. It just depends on, like, you know, is it, like, Keaton Commission number 56, or is it, you know, something, I don't know. I mean, this isn't necessarily something new and exciting, but it's... In terms of content, I feel like assets for the stream is a lot of fun to make, because you get to see those changes, like, you know, you make a drawing and then you kind of just post it and you're done with it, but, like, when you make assets, they're, like, used for things, you know, they have, like, a purpose and a function to them, so it's a lot of fun to see, the kinds of things that, like, come out of it, like, you know, making a banner for the channel, or, like, if you know, like, if you look at the, I mean, I'm online right now, so you can't see it, but I think if I can open this right now, actually, if I pull up my dock on the correct display, let's see, GRIFFINGALACTIC, stream, assets, it might be in GG web assets, and then offline. Yeah, this is the one. Like this offline screen, I made this, like, not too long ago. And, like, this used to be a really boring looking screen. But now, look at it, the name's bigger, it's got that. But it's also got, you know, all the different emotes here, it's got subscription badges, and I did this little doodle of me having a nap when I'm not streaming. And I drew, like, little wires and shit. You can see Apple Watch, baby. You can see the Switch, you got pillows, you got wires, you got all sorts of shit. So that was, like, that's fun to work on, because now it shows up on my Twitch page, and that's, like, it's a very visible thing, you know? You can immediately see, like, you know, where it goes and what it does, and, I feel like that's, it's certainly one way to give my art, like, more engagement, because, you know, you go to a Twitter page, and it, you know, my art might be buried below, you know, what's popping, or whatever shit posts I'm doing, but, like, with my Twitch page, that sort of thing is, like, always gonna be front and center, so, and there's, like, a permanence to it, too, or not necessarily a permanence, but it's certainly more of a staying power than any other art that I do, so that's pretty fun to see. What game dev stuff do you do? I've been working on a 3D platformer since 2013. I haven't been actively working on it for the past little while. Man, this takes me back. So I think back in January, before, like, I've always done, like, the occasional stream on this channel, like, super rarely though. Like, I didn't have a schedule, it was kind of just something that I did, like, if I felt like it, maybe. And I think it was, like, some art stream stuff that I was doing, and I think someone just, like, brought it up, like, kind of like you did, Femi, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, this is a thing that I'm working on too, and I went, like, on this whole hour-long tangent where I kind of, like, you know, went through all the content that the game has and, like, played through it, kind of, like, explained what it was, and I'm certainly not going to do that tonight, you know, speaking of getting distracted, but, I at the time, I did consider, you know, maybe I'll want to do one day, streams of me working on that game in the same way that I would do Galaxy Gallery streams, but I think I kind of just want to focus on the stream and the art for now. I do think the game has the potential to generate revenue, but it's, you know, you can only really do that once it's a finished product, whereas, you know, with the stream, again, it's like, it's far more immediate, especially because, again, the game I've been working on since 2013. What's it called? Oh. I should make it clear that I started making these things when I was a fucking child, and so the series of the game is stupid as fuck, but it is called Lego Block Adventure 5. Still trying to figure out what to change the name to, because the collectibles are like letter L, they're like the letter L, it's like, here, I'll draw it. The collectibles look like that. And I'm trying to think of something else that starts with like a word that starts with L that I could use so that I don't fucking use a term like that can possibly get me in hot water, if you will. But hey, I've yet to think of one, so that's still what it's called at the moment. LMAO, but it's not your 5th game, right? It is my 5th game. That's not the embarrassing part. The embarrassing part is that it's called fucking Lego Block. Yeah, I've made other 3D platformers, but they're not good. I would consider 4 to be the first okay one. Honestly, everything before that is broken as fuck. And then 5 is like, you know, my magnum opus or whatever. Probably not gonna make a 6 or anything like that, but you know. Oh god, now we gotta do this frame? Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. One day you guys will see it, but nothing super immediate. Also, I was gonna ask if you do other type of commission stuff, like banners, icons, etc. I do know that right now, the commission sheet does actually specify that I do icons, but yeah, like banners, all that sort of, again, like, if you guys want, like, to commission me to, like, do assets for your stuff, I'm totally up for doing that, absolutely. But it seems like character commissions, especially given, you know, recent happenings, what with the Keaton business, character commissions seem to be the most popular, but I'm certainly not averse to doing that as well. But I think the price would, like, wildly vary depending on, like, the complexity of what you would want done. Like, for an animation, I'm just, like a single art piece, so if it would be line art and flat color for one character, I don't even have my prices memorized, but I would wager that it would be about $20. So if it's like an animation, you know, how many frames are you gonna multiply that by? You know, how much work is that gonna be? How many hours are you putting in? But yeah, I mean, if someone would be willing to pay the price, as if it's like this grim thing, which is a great way to sell my business, but you know, if someone, you know, is interested in my services, then yeah, I'm absolutely interested in, at the very least, talking something out and following through on it and seeing what the client wants done. I've never done, like, commissioned animated work before. I mean, I guess you could say the Mama Luigi reanimated and the Donkey Kong reanimated things would be a thing that counts, but I'm just thinking, like, in terms of, because, I mean, I didn't get paid for those things, so I feel like there's maybe a bit of a different dynamic there, where I feel maybe, like, more actively pressured to work on it. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I could do it. I also maybe want to, like, one day, maybe, this isn't, like, a definite thing that I want to do because, you know, I can hardly bring myself to make a BRB screen, but making, like, little animated highlight thingies, just, like, because I do the highlight videos, right, and those are kind of, like, compilations of, like, a whole series, but I know that's, like, a hot thing with, like, Let's Players, where they do, like, little animated, they commission other people, at least, to do animated things of their, like, funny moments or whatever, of their Family Guy funny moments. And hey, looks like I could possibly save a little bit on that expenditure by just doing it myself. See, the hard part, though, is finding something funny. I don't know if there's ever been a moment that's been, like, so good that, like, oh man, I've got to animate this. Maybe, like, PD Piranha throwing up on Lost, but, like, that's kind of the thing about starting the stream in the way that I did with the mic that I did, is that, oh, wow, these are kind of, like, classic moments or whatever, but going back to them, it's like, well, now they've got crummy audio, and that's just the way that they'll be forever. Also, I'm trying to... Okay, there's the hard brush. I was trying to find that instead of the soft brush. There we go. Yeah, Femi, if you're interested in getting something like that, then absolutely, I'd be open to talking about it for sure. There's nothing stopping you. I don't know, like, if with the new mic something of that caliber happens, then maybe I'll, like, revisit that idea, but I don't know, it seems like it would be a fun thing to do one day. Especially because, like, with the kind of thing that I do with, like, the streams and everything, there's always going to be, like, that proposition of, like, time investment, right? Like, not everybody's gonna want to watch, you know, a 2-hour video, and even the highlights videos might prove to be, like, a little too long for some people, like, maybe half an hour or whatever, or 25 minutes is maybe too much, and so maybe just having, like, a couple of, like, minute-long videos sprinkled in here and there might be, like, you know, more suitable for, like, a wider audience, and, like, you know, because beyond, like, the little channel trailer or whatever on, like, the YouTube channel itself, there's not too much of an idea that new viewers can get about, like, what the stream's about without, you know, sinking in a ton of time, and I feel like most people just don't want to do that, you know, they just want to know, am I gonna like it or not right off the bat, so I think those animated clips would be a great way to, like, show the channel in a great light to, like, new viewers and maybe, like, encourage some new viewership, especially as far as the full galaxy goes. I don't know. I usually don't talk about, like, stream marketing strategies or whatever, but I am making stream assets, so I guess that kind of is where the conversation's made its way to. I don't know. I think about stuff like that a lot. With, like, analytics and viewership and whatnot. Set a 2-second clip of Tommy sleeping as the channel's trailer. God, the fucking eyelid noise. Oh well, this is one place to go for the hoodie color, but I should probably draw from these frames. Also, persists on every frame, so I gotta turn it off on 1, I gotta go to 13. Fitting that this is the frame that is 13, but I remember the first stream I watched of yours was Mario Sunshine, and your filter was acting up or something, so your louds were super screech. I remember what caused that. I think what happened with that, was that in the earlier streams, it wasn't part 1, it was something else. I remember that I was, like, fighting Goober Blooper when I realized it happened. Like, and not the original battle, it was, like, the rematch on the helipad. But what happened with that was, in the very beginning of these streams, I was using the built-in laptop on my microphone, but what that resulted in is, you know, the keyboard sounds were very present and clicky, and personally, like, this sound, like the sound of the MacBook keyboards, especially, like, the Touch Bar MacBook now with, like, its, like, this is fucking cocaine to me, like, it's, like, some serious ASMR for me. It's very, it feels good to type on, it sounds good to type on, if only the keys didn't break if a single speck of dust got underneath the keycap. But, you know, if the mic is directly into it, then I can see how it would be grating. And it also didn't help that, you know, if the mic is in the same machine that the fan is, then that can be pretty irritating as well. So what I switched to was the microphone that's built into my external cinema display or whatever. But the situation with that was there were, like, different gain settings that I should have been using for the MacBook mic as opposed to the display mic. Like, there were different locations, you know, I'm in different distances from them, so the gain settings would have to be, like, appropriately changed to something different. And so when I first switched, that Mario Sunshine stream was the first one that I did with the display mic, and I just had not configured it properly or tested it at all. So I think for, like, the first 40 minutes of it, like, and it's just completely blown out. And then I realized at a certain point, oh hey, this sounds horrible, let me fix that. Or I think someone in chat brought it up or something like that. Which is really a shame, because, like, that I did games like that as early as I did, because, like, Wind Waker and Mario Sunshine are, like, my favorite. Some, like, they both got highlights videos. They're the first videos on the channel to have gotten highlight videos to begin with, but, like, man, it's just a fantastic... those are some great series, you know, if you can get past the audio problems. There was, like, a lot of funny moments in those streams. But it's like, now that I have, like, the audio quality, the sublime audio experience, to back it up, you know, the laughs are nowhere to be seen. But I'm hoping, like, stuff like that... I'm especially looking forward to, I guess, you know, Sonic Unleashed now, but again, like, I've got stuff planned for October, and I'm hoping, you know, I feel like for the past little while, like, since August and throughout September, like, Xenoblade was a really fun playthrough, but I don't know if it was, like, funny. I feel like some of you may have laughed, perhaps, at my grief over the events that transpired in that game, but what am I doing here? No color. What do you... color? What? Oh, this is on the color layer. Oh, I see. Oh, that's strange. I mean, I could bounce back from it, but I haven't done that before. There we go, okay. But, like, you know, I've just been kind of doing, like, a lot of the same series. Like, Okami's been going on for a while, Hollow Knight's been going on for a while, and I mean, Hollow Knight has been around for a while, but that's a bit of a different situation where, like, I've just been putting it off for so long, but, like, you know, I guess Undertale was a pretty funny series, I'll give that. But I'm hoping to spend, like, this first little chunk of October, like, finally getting those games out of the way, and then from mid to the end of October is going to be, like, a bunch of, like, newer stuff. We're going to get into some new series, we're going to get some fresher stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. Have you done, or are you planning to do the Galaxy games? Do you mean the goodies? Galaxy goodies? Yes. So basically the way I go about that also... music's changing, so let's grab some Luigi's Mansion music. Luigi's Mansion. Title screen? How long is the title screen? Hold on. It's 24 seconds. That's not going to last us long. That said, Dark Moon has a 15-minute extended cut, so let's take a look at that after this. Whoa! Oh, you meant Mario Galaxy. Well, I'll finish up my thoughts on goodies. Basically the way I go about that is that I have like a list of like bookmarked games on itch.io, and I actually do have a lot of those lined up for October, so probably look forward to another one of those coming later this month. As far as Super Mario Galaxy, no comment quite yet, because there is going to be something Mario related happening later this month, and we'll see about that. But probably not for a while. When it comes to... Oh, also, Luigi's Mansion has ended. Shocker. Okay, let's do Dark Moon. What's this theme sound like? Oh, this is alright. But yeah, if I'm doing like multiple games from a series like Sonic Adventure 1 to Sonic Adventure 2, I like to leave like a decent like gap between those streams. So if I'm doing something Mario this October, then I probably want to hold off on it for like... What I like to do is have like a month between the finale of that series and then part 1 of like the next series. So I can't imagine like another Mario thing happening until maybe like mid-December. Like I think the series that I'm going to be doing next is going to be pretty lengthy, so I don't know if you can expect anything new super soon. But yeah, I can do the Galaxy games eventually for sure. I know a lot of people like are super into the Galaxy games, and they're like, oh yeah, those are my favorite ones, but I really liked Galaxy 1, but especially like when it comes to people singing like Galaxy 2's praises, I don't see it at all. Like, absolutely, like, they're perfectly fine games, but I just don't think they're my favorites at all. Is this the frame that this goes on? Correct, okay. Oh yeah, I went back and checked my Hollow Knight file. You can probably beat it in 10 streams, 20 hours, or go for more, like, twice that. Okay, that's doable. I think I might probably end up going longer than 10 streams, though. Because, like, what you've said, right, is 10 streams, 20 hours. But that kind of operates on the assumption that, like, the Hollow Knight streams are, like, like 2 hours a pop, right? But what I've ended up doing with those is they're kind of closer to like an hour and a half, or like, there's been a lot of shorter Hollow Knight streams, so as a result, I probably haven't gotten as much progress into the game as I should have by now. Like, you would think 5 streams would mean that I'm 10 hours in, but I'm nowhere even close to that, so we're probably going to be ending up maybe like 12, maybe as long as Paper Mario Color Splash. Although that series had like a lot of like 2.5 hour parts and a lot of 3 hour parts, so we'll see where that goes. Fellas, I don't mean to say it, because I always say it when I listen to any piece of music, but
Hey, this reminds me of Klonoa.
okay, well it turns out that the title screen of Luigi's Mansion 2 is actually quite a short loop, so let's see what else we have here. See, I can fuck with this. I can fuck to this. BRB. Alright, Femi. Alright, let's see what I want to do. Oh, this kind of looks like a different device. I might want to draw more than just a line in the flashlight's place. Oh god, now the lines are beginning to encroach upon Yoshi's presence. Oh no! I'm angering him. You know, I think the frame that I'm working on right now is actually like a very heavily modified, flipped, mirrored version of like another frame. I could probably reuse some of the stuff from that, but I think we're a little late to that now, because you've already like redrawn so much. Although the body is like the one bit that persists between versions, and that is the one part that I also haven't drawn. I've really only been doing the modified part so far, so I could if I wanted to, and yet I won't, because I am a fool. Also, this little circle is really tough to get. Oh, no. See, that's the key though, you gotta make it like really go up to the one edge. Okay, there we go, that works. Or does it though? Hold on. Back off, Yoshi. Oh no, I don't think it does. It's not like it's quite centered. Turn off the rough, how does that look? Fine, as it turns out. Guys, do you think there was going to be, like, references to Hotel Mario in Luigi's Mansion 3? Because that would be, like, the perfect opportunity for it. And it does seem to be I mean, there's no confirmation on it, but like based on the style, it does seem to be, if not at least modeled after Dark Moon. It looks like Next Level Games is doing it again. So if you think about it, Hotel Mario is a bit more of a Western meme, as being worked on by a Western studio. I would say there's actually a reasonable chance. Just like a little Easter egg, I think they could get away with it. Like maybe the Hotel Mario theme, but being played with like the instruments from like this music in like this style. No one will even notice. It's not a big deal. Man, I'm really excited though to see like how far they're going to go with like the hotel concept, like, because the structure of previous Luigi's Mansion games have been like, oh, find the key and go in the door, and like you would find all these like crazy different rooms, but like in a hotel there's not like that much variance between every single room. So I wonder if that's going to be like maybe a play, they're going to play with that idea, and like or is each room going to be individual? Are you going to be like finding key cards, or like are you going to be accessing like each floor like all at once? Or like, I can see them going in like a lot of different directions of how they handle like that whole structure. They have the opportunity to do like a lot of really new things just with like that base idea. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. But I guess that's what we'll be doing about next year, because it is Halloween 2019 apparently. Also, hold on. What did I just select? Oh, there's no line at the bottom, is there? No line at the bottom, that would explain it. There we go. Almost. There we are. So now if I select... Yeah, now we're cooking. Alright, let's get this hoodie taken care of. Nice. And Yoshi can come home as well. Man, I gotta say though, we're really starting to get into like the final stretch of it now. Like, look how many frames are left. We've got 6 more to do. I can live with that. I can live with 6 more frames. And that's absolutely within like the remaining amount of time left as well, so that's perfect. That's very doable. Come to think of it though, I don't think I ever really have gone like back to the Luigi's Mansion 2 soundtrack, so maybe for the rest of the night this could be like some fun to explore. Back? Welcome back, Femi. We were just talking about Luigi's Mansion thoughts. And hotels! Guys, what if in Luigi's Mansion 3 Luigi finds the enclosed instruction book? Y'all ever thought about how weird of an idea Hotel Mario is in the first place? I know that seems like a really like basic thing to say, but like sure, Luigi's Mansion takes place in a hotel, but that's like in a world, that idea came about in a world where Luigi's Mansion kind of like already exists, and they extrapolated from that to like arrive at the idea of a hotel. But like when they made Hotel Mario, it was just fucking what, Mario World? Yoshi's Island? Like what at that time would give them the idea for a hotel? Guys, what if this colorful character who ran around these magical lands went to a fucking hotel? Print it. Publish it. Do it. Sega CDI. Philips CDI, let's do this. And then Nintendo said, yeah, okay, sure, hotels, why not? meme fuel and had room service? You got me there. Guys, what if Hotel Mario is one big, elaborate, intentional joke? Guys, what if the Philips CDI is one big, elaborate, intentional joke? Didn't, like, the Philips Twitter account, like, say something about the Philips CDI recently? Like, someone was asking them if they can make, like, a classic mini version of the console, like has been happening with, like, Nintendo and Sony and all these other, like, old manufacturers. And like, oh, bring back the Philips CDI Classic. And then they, like, actually responded to it, and it's like, oh, well, we don't, like, support our legacy content anymore, or something like that. It was a no, but they, like, still responded to it, and it's like, oh, look forward to it in the future, or something like that. Or like, we hope you look forward to hearing more about this in the future. Which is, you know, it's still, like, a total non-answer, but I think it's great that they acknowledged it just at all. Why is Mario Italian? Because he... I don't think there ever has been, like, an official explanation. But I suppose Koizumi's reasoning as to why Mario doesn't look like all the other people in Odyssey, you know, maybe the answer doesn't need to be complex. Maybe it doesn't need to be lore. Maybe the answer is just as simple as sometimes people are different, and that's okay. Hotel, just saying. I hope Luigi's Mansion has a 5-star rating at least. Guys, what if Luigi finds bed bugs? What if Luigi's gotta throw out the mattress like in Nathan For You? Maybe that's why he shows up to the hotel in the first place. Also, more importantly, what if Luigi presents the hotel with an idea to let parents have sex while their kids are in the same room? What if you created a vacuum-sealed isolation chamber? I kinda meant from, like, an economic lens, but yeah, good point. What do you mean an economic lens? Do you mean the marketability of an Italian protagonist? Because I think there were plenty of those before Mario. Wait, is the parent sex thing from Nathan For You? Have you not seen that episode? I think it's like season 3, episode 6. If I'm right about that, by the way, I deserve bits. Just saying. It's the one where he, like, goes to a hotel and presents them with the idea that, oh, well, if you want to cater to families, you have to cater to the parents, right? And what do parents like to do? Have sex. But if they're on vacation with their family, then they don't have the privacy to do that. So how are they going to do it? Well, the plan? Basically, Nathan, like, presents them with, like, the idea that they create, like, a vacuum-sealed, soundproof, like, box that the kid can be placed inside so that they can't hear anything that's happening on the outside, and they can't hear or see anything. And they're, like, locked inside, so if they want to get out, they have to, like, activate a button that, like, sounds like this alarm and this siren and shit to, like, get the parent to come open the lock. And then, like, just to ensure that no sounds get through, they also, like, record, like, jungle, like, forest noises. So it's just, like, ambient, like, ooh, ooh, ah, ah. But then Nathan goes in and he, like, records sound effects of his own, and it's like, oh, oh, ooh, 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 and shit like that, just in case any sound were to leak through. And so they, like, test it out by, like, putting the kid in the box, and then he invites the parents to, you know, view the testing, if you will, of the idea. And so the parents watch as the kid gets in the box, and then 2 adult actors, let's call them, come out and they just start fucking, and the wife is like, you can learn a thing or two from this, honey. And they just fucking watch as they just fuck, and they're in the box. And then, of course, to further test out the idea, they just have, like, a whole out, like, orgy, like, right next to the box. I think it's, like, with, like, 7 or 8 people. And it's, like, just, it's quite a soundscape, to say the least. But by the end of it, the kid came out of the box, and, like, he heard nothing. And so at the end of the episode, or at least like the end of the segment, he presents the manager with like the evidence that this idea works, and he just sits the laptop down on his desk, and the manager is just like, you know, very like intently watching like this video of like a group of people fucking on his hotel bed. And he's like, I see. And he's like, do you want it? And the hotel manager is just like, oh, well, we'll think about it. And so they just leave it in the lobby. And by the way, the box is made to look like a spaceship, like a NASA shuttle, to make it like more appealing to children. So that's a thing too. They put kids in... Yep, it is the episode? Bust out those bits, chat. Put kids in sensory deprivation chambers. I was close. I meant why they created an Italian protagonist in 1980s Japan, but apparently it was Nintendo of America that changed the name from Jumpman to Mario after Mario Segale, who was Nintendo of America's Italian-American landlord that resembled Mario. Huh. Is that so? I feel like I remember hearing about like a similar thing that happened with like Kirby, where that name came, because when Donkey Kong came out, Nintendo got sued by Universal Studios, who claimed that they had the rights to you know, King Kong, right? Like that's the studio that made the original movie, and so they claimed that they had the rights to it, and Nintendo, you know, was ripping them off. But Nintendo's lawyer in that case was named John Kirby, and he was able to prove that King Kong was actually a work of the public domain, and thus Nintendo had the right to use it, thus winning them the case. And in his honor, they named Kirby after him. Also, the song has ended, and you need to find something new. That was Sticky Situation, and now this is Gloomy Manor? What's Gloomy Manor? Is it good? Sure. Honestly, Luigi's Mansion 2 had like some good motifs. I'm gonna be excited to see like what comes out of 3's soundtrack. Dark Moon soundtrack, groovy, spooky and groovy, and gloomy, based on the name of the song, name of Gloomy Manor. Okay, that's good. That's good. Ditto. Question is, how often will EGAD call us this time? Well, they said that the mission-based structure of Luigi's Mansion 2 was chosen because they wanted it to be like, you know, a more portable experience. You know, the kind of thing where you like pick it up and like play it for a few minutes and then you can put it down, like where you're not required to like play a super long session before you're like able to put the game down again. It's a very like pick up and play thing that they wanted to go, which is, you know, the whole source of the mission structure. But I think like something that's like really great that they managed to do with the Switch is kind of like find a good balance between that pick up and play like portable style and a home console like depth. Like in Mario Odyssey, like comparing that to older console Mario games, where you would just be like dropped in like kind of one longer mission. In Odyssey, you kind of just go around and it only takes like a few minutes to get like a moon. In Breath of the Wild, you can maybe like do a shrine, or like you do like these micro tasks without having to do like this, you know, this larger thing. And so I think if they continue like that kind of balance where it's structured in a way where you can progress a little bit at a time, but not where it's like very mechanically and artificially like broken apart into like these linear chunks, like I think Luigi's Mansion 3 is like perfectly positioned to go to a formula that people will like, while also maintaining that whole sense of you know, keeping with that portable pick up and play thing that they strive for so deeply. I get that to a point, but in the first game, EGAD calls you maybe a handful of times. Well, he only calls you when the mission ends, right? So I would imagine it would be less in this one for sure. But I mean, my uncle doesn't work in Nintendo, so I can't really say. Okay, line art on this one is done. Okay, I was like kind of saying this earlier, but I feel like I'm definitely getting through these frames like faster now. We're getting close, we got only 5 left. Oh, you know what? I was gonna continue playing Luigi's Mansion music, but I was thinking back to like Unleashed and like other Sonic tracks, and I just thought of a great chill track that could be played. I'm not gonna say it, but I am gonna play it next. And it's gonna be chill as fuck. Like, as far as Luigi's Mansion 2 goes, like with the tracks that I'm doing right now, like, it's slow, but it's not necessarily, it still has like energy to it, and maybe it's like a little too much for like the chillness of the stream that I'm going for, so I don't know, I've got a pretty good idea for something, I'm just saying, maybe. Okay, nice. He gives you advice on a couple of occasions. Huh. The history of Mario and Nintendo in general is very interesting. It really is. There's like a definitely like if you know your trivia, there's like a ton of like weird shit about that company that makes for good stories. Speaking of, has anybody actually watched that video on YouTube called The History of Nintendo? Because it keeps appearing in my sidebar as like a recommended video, and I refuse to watch it. I refuse to. Not only because I obviously know better, but just because, like, no, fuck you, recommended video. In fact, to a further point, does anybody know how to turn those off? Because you used to be able to do that. Like, you used to be able to, like, clear your YouTube watch history and your search history and, like, just pause it so that it didn't record it anymore. Because it's that function that allows YouTube to, you know, serve up, you know, suggested videos in the first place, because I should stress that there is a difference between related videos and recommended videos, and I do not like recommended. And I used to be able to turn that off, but even though I have search and watch history turned off, I still get recommendations, and I don't want them. Stabbing Sony in the back is pretty worth bringing things up. I think the Nintendo and Sony thing is like pretty well known, isn't it? I turned off history and they went away, but I noticed they've come back and I'm pissed. Okay, I was wondering if it was just me that it happened to, because like it happened to me like a while ago, and when I brought it up, people, the only solution that I can find was, oh yeah, dude, just turn off your watch history and search history. And I'm like, I've already done that. It's been that way for ages, but now they're back. A dinosaur's tail, and there's no way to get rid of them. One day I'll find a way. One day John Google will pay. Speaking of, isn't Google I.O. like right around the corner? When is that? I don't know if I'm gonna stream it, but I might. As long as they're not like, you know, as what's the word, hawkish as Apple, as far as streams go, I might do like a reaction thing to that. Rest in peace, September keynote. Okay, oh, okay, I think that's enough loops. I think I get the idea 6 minutes in. Sea bottom segue from Sonic Lost World. Now this is some chill shit. Speaking of recommended videos, have you seen the Parasocial Hell video? It's very interesting and I highly recommend it. Maybe. Who's the person who made the video? Because the one that I'm thinking of has a female narrator, and she talks about like Jacksepticeye and like Bo Burnham as like examples of that. I might know what you're talking about. And if not, if I'm just talking about a different video, go watch that one too, because it's a good video. Sour, please. Oh shit, it's slapping. Or rather, is slapping. It's a 2-hour doc by Shannon Strucci. Yeah, that one? Huh, okay then. Yeah, that's a good one. You guys go watch that. Yeah, I really love like long-form videos like that. Lindsay Ellis and Foldable Human and H-Bomber Guy are also all like great, similar content creators like that. I love that shit. Especially, again, you know, like, I'm streaming right now, but if I were to be working on my own, I would, like, love to have that sort of thing, like, just, let me turn this down a little bit more. I would love to have that sort of thing, just to, like, listen to in the background. Like, oh, those are great. Okay, this frame is covered. Let's make sure that we haven't missed any details, and also make sure we turn this off on the first frame, because, as always, it persists across all frames. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Oh shit, that's right! I pointed this out earlier with how this kind of comes out of nowhere. Hold on. I might have to retroactively add in... No, don't play. Also, wow, that looks great. Let me play that all at once. Let's see. Oh, it's looking good. It's looking good, boys. Oh, I'm so excited to see this finished. But let me see. Okay, liner. I just kind of have to draw a few frames of this actually, like, entering this space rather than just kind of popping out of nowhere. Griffin, I have a question. Would you commission yourself to draw an icon for you? What? I mean, I get you're probably making a joke, but I don't think I'm laughing. I would just make an icon. It might be a little too abrupt. Probably should... Let's see how it looks in motion. Actually, that works. I can get away with that. Fellas, I'm liking how this is coming out. Okay, frame 10. Let's do it. And liner and color. Wow, that looks really good. This is really nice. Thank you, everybody. But do you bill yourself for your own services and work? Why would I? No. Do I have to? Is that like a tax thing? I would consider that pro bono, I guess. I consider it an unpaid internship. Alright, frames persist. Wait a second now. Now hold on a second. I'm just kind of curious about the... So, like, the bangs here are made out of, like, a little swoop, a medium swoop, and then a big swoop that curves downwards like that, right? Also think I might have actually drawn this in. Hold on. Okay, that should be good. But you can see how it's made of, like, those three kind of blocks, right? And you can see here that in this frame, it kind of goes out only this far, but if you keep an eye on that, on, like, the rough version, about where that stays, you can see that here... Is it persisting after subsequent frames? It should not be persisting after subsequent frames. What are you doing? No, turn off, turn on. But if you look at the next frames here, it's about the same here, and then it jumps forward to, like, over here, and then it kind of stays that way, so I'm kind of thinking about how I'm gonna handle that transition. Especially because it was, like, already at that length in this frame, so why does it go back here? And then go back to that. This looks like a mistake to me. Might have to freehand that one. Make an icon for yourself for exposure. Keaton aside, you got any other corn pairings you like? Warm and fluffy would be nice in a bed, I suppose. Niles was what sold me on Fates originally, so Niles is pretty up there. I drew a Corn and Niles thing recently as part of like an art trade, as well as, you know, also Leo and Takumi, but still, Corn was present. Oh shit, this is still here actually. I don't know though. I don't have the energy to really pour into any other Fire Emblem pairings. Keaton demands all my attention. Because really, he's like such a fucking unpopular character, especially as far as M-Corn ships go. You know, F-Corn ships are one thing, you know, evil is what they are, but like, even as far as the hetero shit goes, which you think those bastards would be all over. But you know, there's nothing, thankfully. But that's the thing, it's like, there's so little content out there that I just kind of gotta make it all myself, so. Like, Kamo Zero has like plenty, they don't need any help from me. I like the gay F pairings a bit, but it's still kind of bad. Listen, F-Corn took the thigh windows that N-Corn deserves. Let me explain something real important to you folks. Real important. So the bottom of Corn's armor, right? Hold on, I actually have to draw this now. This is all by memory, folks. Okay, it's going a little high up now. That's fine. That explains enough. Generally, it looks like this, right? It's kind of got this little thing, and then it's got like kind of a skirt that goes out to one side like that, and then it's got kind of like an arc shape like that. That has a diagonal line that goes down like that. But once you get to the leggies, right? Here's where the horrible crime takes place. M-Corn just has leggings, right? They're just skin tight, and it just looks like that. Which, is fine. It's vacuum sealed to his ass in Smash, so hey, it's not too bad. But this is what F-Corn gets. Look at this. She gets thigh windows! Look at that injustice! M-Corn would look beautiful in those! But cowards that they are, they didn't give them to us. And now, again, I must be the change I wish to see in the world. Thigh window is actually godlike? It sure is! Yeah, like for real though, let me open up the Finder real quick. Let's see, if I go into Art, PNGs, and not the NSFW folder, and I bust out, let's see, what's some Corn artwork that I have here that has him in his armor? Because if you guys look, you will see that I have actually done the work to add in those thigh windows wherever they may be. I'm trying to find something good, but as it turns out, I actually don't like much of my own art. And main doesn't really count. Main outfit doesn't really count. Damn, apparently I don't draw them all that frequently. Probably because full body with this character is a goddamn nightmare. It's fucking out there, though. It's out there somewhere. Hold on, give me a sec. Give me a sec, I'll find it, I'll find it. I have some that are... I don't really like this one anymore, but it is a recent example. Just kind of pan out the gross face and, you know, look at that. It's equality! Anyways. We're getting sidetracked. Why does Rajat gotta be so weird, though? Because Japan has really weird hang-ups about the LGBT community and preconceived notions about that, and it's creepy and gross. I mean, as much as I like Niles, he is based on like a lot of like gay stereotypes, and that is kind of unfortunate. Would you be willing to draw the window? Reminds me of that magic window attack from one of the Mario movies. What do you mean draw the window? As in the thigh window? I'm way ahead of you, buddy. I just showed examples, but that's probably because these are older chat messages. Underrated, I feel you, but I get you. Sometimes I look on archive of our own for stories. Some get lewd, others are fluffy. I don't know if I've mentioned this on stream, but one of these days I want to make like a Corrin and Keaton comic. Along the lines of like a fic kind of thing. I feel like that would be like the ultimate conclusion to like this whole Corrin and Keaton business. Should I ever choose to move on to something else, I will finish with that final work. So Layla had some potential too, but big oof. Ooh, yeah, so Layla was horribly mishandled. But that's the thing, is that the treehouse actually like took that out, like in the localization, so I'm fine with that. But that's the kind of shit that worries me, because when the homophobic stuff gets taken out, the gamers throw a tantrum about like artistic integrity and how they're changing the original vision, and it's like, no, you asshole, it was homophobic and they're making it not homophobic, so fucking leave it.
But I want the lesbian character to be my waifu. Why is Tracer gay? I'm so mad I knocked my chicken nuggets out of my mom's hand. I don't know what to do.
Guys, that is still one of my like favorite fucking posts of all time. Second only to they targeted gamers. Gamers. I don't know if you guys have seen either of those copy pastas, but they're incredible. If not sad. Passion project or looking for someone to foot the bill? Oh my god. If I were to like commission, like that's the thing, like is like I'm an artist, so like I know what that sort of thing would cost, and there is, I mean, hey, if I could afford it and if I had that money to throw away, then sure, I would make fucking 50 Keaton comics. If I could be responsible for that, then sure. But unfortunately, I do not have that money, so best buckle out? Bust out. I think I was trying to say buckle up or bust out, but I just said buckle out. Bust out those artist hands and get to cartooning. Wait, what sort of thing? I lost the thread? A Keaton and Corrin comic. Like a Dojin or something. How about you give a price for one, start at one? Well, that's the thing, is when you commission like a comic from like somebody, typically what they'll do is nothing actually. It'll be treated essentially as you paying for like just several singular pieces of work. So if I'm going by my prices, right? I think I would probably do like line art if I were doing a comic, so just black and white, which for me would be, I believe, $16 for a full body line art for one character. So if we're thinking 2 characters per panel, then, and we say maybe like 6 panels per page, then that becomes, well, let's find out actually. Let's bust out the math. So let's see, 16 and then 6, maybe like 10 pages, let's say. That would cost $960. So yeah, if I do something like that, I think I'll just prefer to make it on my own. I'm not like that one dude who can commission all those pictures of Giant Fox and Falco, who, by the way, is my personal hero. I wish I could be that man, but unfortunately, that's life. Hey, that's life. Yeah, I mean, maybe there might be, like, some artists out there who, like, charge differently if you're paying for, like, a huge amount like that, but from my experience, that's not the case. It honestly shouldn't be. Like, I would feel guilty about, like, not paying artists fairly. Like, oh yeah, 960 is expensive, but it's also a fair price for the amount of labor that something like that would require. Because that's essentially 60 drawings. I've seen those and am aware of them. He sure wanted it a lot, and man, I'm wondering how much he blew in total. Well, funny you should mention that, because I think occasionally they'll come out, like, out of the blue to, like, answer questions that the internet has for him. For example, what the fuck and why? But, like, I think someone has indeed asked them, oh, how much have you spent in total? And I believe that the most recent estimate that they put out was like $60,000 or something like that they spent on, like, Fox and Falco shit. Which, I mean, again, goals, but I could never. I'm slowly but surely approaching it, but I think at the moment, given my current situation, that's on hold. Man, there's been like a hell of a story time session during this frame. I feel like this has taken a lot longer than the other ones because I keep having all these stories to tell. That said, 4 frames left. Ish. Clenches fist just on Fox and Falco. Sheesh, what about art in general? Well, I don't think they commission anything besides Fox and Falco. I think that's what they exclusively do. Hence why I draw the comparisons to my own endeavors with Keaton and Corrin, because they're just very, very passionate about that one particular ship. And I think, like, another one of the questions I answered too is like, oh, why do you commission so much of this particular pairing? And the reason is like, oh, well, it's not really in the games, so I wanted to see more of it, so I had to take matters into my own hands. And, like, that's literally my same excuse with Keaton and Corrin, so I do feel on some level a kinship with that very strange man. Like, he just fucking did it. There were also some rumors at first about how he was, like, supposedly, like, a really, like, successful, like, doctor in Korea, like, one of the top surgeons in the country or something like that, but I don't think that part is true. As incredible as it would be to make the story even better, but I think they're just, like, a salaryman. Another Keaton question, what's your favorite thing about him, both as a character and physical trait? Well, funny you should mention that, because... Hold on. I've got the answer for you right here. Because if you make my way to my Twitch channel... Oh, look at that! Hold on. Is it gonna play audio, or is it... Okay, it's muted. Cool. If we scroll down here into the facts section, you can actually see the answer right before your eyes. So not only is that 2 things, it's 3 things. Also, I like that Femi here has just said, wait, where'd chat go? Give me chat. Or give me death! There's chat. No, that's Whispers. Where did chat go? Hello, chat? Oh, I don't think it showed up. But Femi predicted he's gonna say ass, but I think I loaded it too late. Also, this is very... Seeing this window and window and window is very surreal. Okay, that said, this frame... Oh, no, the flashlight. But after that, this should be done. Doesn't include outfit or hair SMH. Those are both very good aspects, to be fair. I certainly have a type, I think, as far as characters that I like. And, yeah, Keaton's hair is certainly... It certainly seems to play into it. Because if you look at, like, all the other, like, Fire Emblem characters that I like Ryoma and Niles and, well, Keaton, they've all got bomb-ass titties and long hair. So, and, of course, this is also canon, big ass. I haven't really decided whether or not I've been drawing this seam in the flashlight, but now I have to go back and, like, retroactively decide that now. Okay, that one's good. That one's gotta go in. I was actually in a call with Roach a couple of days ago, and he was just like doodling shit, and he asked me like stuff that I wanted him to draw, and I was like, oh, you know what I would want you to draw. And he's like, oh, of course, I know what you would want me to draw. And he just like did like a straight up call out, like he just did like this really like exaggerated like anime dude with big ass titties and long ass hair. He's like, this is what you will want. Like, well, yeah, actually, it probably is called out, and that is a power move. Okay, so the seam should be on all the frames now. Let's double check to make sure that the flashlight is taken care of, and if it is, we can move on to the next frame. Well, I've got my eye on you, flashlight. You're not fooling me. Okay, nice. 3 frames left, baby. Okay, so frame 11. Oh, 4 frames, actually. Fair enough. Wait a second. 4 frames. 11, 12, 13. Okay, no, okay. I thought we maybe, like, missed a frame somewhere and I was about to, like, freak out, but we're good, we're good. Oh, these are both named plans. That's not how this is done. Okay. Also, let me go to the rough frames and take everything, like, before 10 and just disable all of those. So that way, these frames only have the clean liner remaining on them. And then we're good to go. So, this is the frame we're working on. Let's get going. You guys, we're so close I can taste it! But first, I gotta make sure I don't mess up this hair and get it going in the wrong direction. So, I'm like putting a finger on the screen to mark where the in-between would go here. And then if on this frame it's over here, then in this frame it should be here. And I'll just draw the in-betweens. I'm hoping that'll work. I'm hoping that'll count. Because if it doesn't, it's gonna look really janky. Honestly, coloring these as I go, I mean, it's probably a more, like, a bit more of, like, a refreshing, what's the word I'm looking for here? A bit of a mix-up in terms of, like, what I'm doing, like, a bit of a change in objectives, because, you know, in one case, I could be doing, like, right now what I'm doing is, you know, line art, color, line art, color, line art, color. Whereas, in another way, I could be doing just all line art and then all color. And you could say, but Griffin, why don't you do that? And I'm saying, well, maybe I should have done that, because now I'm seeing that perhaps if I went through this faster, I would have been able to notice things like that by now, whereas now I'm kind of picking up the pieces. Also, so at the beginning of this, you'll notice that there were, like, no eyes at all. Like, I mean, there's eyes, but you know, those kinds of eyes, pupils or whatever. And I said that I didn't want to do that because he would add them in post in Final Cut Pro because I wanted to do like some extra like eye movement-y stuff. But what it turns out, these eyes don't need any post-processing stuff done to them, so we can just do them right off the bat. So we won't have to leave these blank, we can just color them in normally. Harems aren't for me. I'm sorry, what? Oh, because Neon Blue said corn harem anyone. Yeah, no thank you. Oh shit, that's right, it always persists. We gotta disable it on the first frame then put it back on the actual intended frame. Okay. Let's see. Now, I was noticing with the rough version of this, I don't think I ever went back and fixed this, but I noticed if we look through the frames here, we can see that it kind of... you see, it starts as 3, then is 4, and then it becomes 5, but it doesn't really... It's not a super smooth transition. It kind of just looks like one of them pops in. And I'm hoping that in this pass I can fix that, possibly. But I think I have a solution. Let's try it out. Because whether it's the 4th or the 5th one, you'll notice that the outermost one is always like in the same rotation generally. But I'm thinking if we make this outermost one, which is the 4th one, a little lower like this, it'll look more like it's coming in, rather than kind of just coming in between these two, which it currently does. So we'll just have it point down like that, right? And then we'll see how that looks as a transition instead. If that looks slightly more natural. I'm thinking if we add like a tiny glimpse of the 5th one in here and like a tiny glimpse of the 4th one in here, then maybe it'll look smoother, but I don't know if that's a guarantee. We'll leave it as is for now and then come back to that idea later if we need to. Also, can't forget the slight presence of eyelash when half-lidded is in effect, which isn't really like a strategy or an artistic technique. I just think it looks better. I just think they're neat. Because boys with lashes are valid as fuck. And hey, that's me. That's me. That's the idea. Man, I can't wait to throw out all this work after a month. I'm honestly a little bummed that I didn't start this out like a little bit earlier because I probably could have gotten away with using it for like half of September. People like to jump to Halloween like super early and then to Christmas as soon as it ends, so I haven't quite taken full advantage of the window that I could have. Also, music is gone. Let's see what we can play now. Oh, y'all want to listen to some Sonic Forces music? Let's see. What's some good shit? We got some Sonic 06 music. Let's do some more stuff from Sonic Lost World. Dragon Dance is pretty good. Yeah, thought me up with that shit. Back on the comic. Let's assume someone who literally peed or burned money footed the bill. Got a story in mind you wanted to tell? Neon Blue, sometimes you say very strange things and I don't know how to respond to them. As far as ideas, I mean, it's probably gonna be NSFW, let's be real. But I don't know. I think the one idea that I do have is like, maybe Keaton's all like, you know, he's all like, you know, he'd be like, how do I draw his hair from something like that. Listen, that's not the point. You can tell what's going on. That's what matters. Except you kind of can't because the line art is so thick from this distance. But he's facing away, but he's like kind of turning to look towards. Except here's the dealio. He's kind of like this, and his hands are going through his hair, kind of. He looks like he's a goddamn spider, but I'm sure if I were actually like setting out to draw, they're coming out of like the middle of his spine. And then his titties are out. It doesn't make sense when it's on a stick figure, so it's kind of hard to explain. But then he's also shirtless and in a hot spring. And then there's like a next panel where Corn is like, holy shit, that's a boy. Also, I'm drawing this too close to the top of the frame to fill in the rest of the hair. But again, you get the idea. How does this bit of the hair go? It's like a little twist and then it goes out like that. And then this bit is like kind of 3 bits like that. And then I've memorized this frighteningly well. And it goes like that. And then it's kind of go down a little line like that. We got a tiny one like that. It goes out inside out like that. And it gets 2 big swoops like that. Nailed it. That's actually a sneak peek of what's to come. That's a real leaked panel. Sorry to say that, a little outside of my pay grade. If I had no bills to pay and scrapped a couple of checks, maybe I could... I'm not asking anyone in chat to pay for it, Jesus. I'll make it on my own time is what I'm saying. It's a passion project. Okay, what else has we got here? Hoodie time. Stop, hoodie time. Wait a second! Chat, buckle up. Hey, Neon Blue, are you the dude who has been commissioning me all this Keaton stuff? And the answer is... Watch me just get like a Twitch notification. Neon Blue has left the chat or something like that. Wait, nah, really? Oh, shit. Because you said, like, a bunch of things that, like, I had, like, this fucking epiphany that was like, wait a second. Like, all these little pieces are connecting. That would have been a plot twist. I suspected it, to be honest. Because I was thinking, wait a second. This client says a lot of non sequiturs that I don't really understand or know how to respond to. This client also has brought up Kingdom Hearts in the past. This client has offered to pay for Keaton things. This client has been talking about how busy they are recently. There was like so many things that were like overlapping, but I guess it has gone nowhere. I got a woke brain for nothing. I would just like to say, guys, can you imagine how cool it would have been if I was right? Let's all think about the alternate reality in which I'm right. Jimmy Neutron brain blast moment. The commissioner was actually me all along. Oh shit, it's... The truth comes out. Also, Femi, do you know how long you've been subscribed? Because I think we're coming up on gold badges becoming available now, like the 6-month tier. Like, what? I mean, I probably chat should be asking me this, not the other way around, but Femi, I believe, was the first subscriber to the channel, so if anybody were to get it first, it would be them. I think they renew, like, in the middle of the month, right? So, I guess we'll find out if this is the month by that time. Three-ish months, maybe 4 soon. Well, wasn't 3 months the blue badge? Because you got that during Fortnite, which was like July or August, so... It isn't too far off of 3 months. Yeah, like, it subscribed far later than you did, Femi, so I think you might be coming up on 5 or 6. I mean, let's see, I got affiliate in March, so March, let's just fucking count it on my hand. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. I mean, technically there's been like an 8-month window, so maybe October could be the month. It's certainly feasible. Also, this slaps. Just thought I'd mention it. Sonic Lost World could be good to stream, but okay. Here's what's gonna happen, because I haven't done any Sonic games in a while, but I do have like a bit of a roadmap for it. So obviously, Unleashed is up next now. I might do 06 for like the new year, and then, you know, just Colors and Generations, and kind of continue through that period for that, well, period. Although, oh, I should have done Shadow the Hedgehog this month. That would be Halloween-y. But I guess, hey, the $9 has already been spent, so what am I to do? You madman? That's me. That is the idea. Also, give me a second. I have to swap my AirPods. Multi-output device. There we go. Shadow is edgy, not Halloween-y. Well, what holiday would you suggest would be appropriate for him then? Sonic 06 is the true horror. I think that would be good for New Year's. Maybe that can be like, maybe it shouldn't be New Year's, maybe it should be on the first anniversary of the stream. What do you guys think I should do for that? Because we're almost coming up on like a full year of this now. And by almost, I mean not even close. We're like just approaching the halfway point. Because he's Valentine's Day, because he's a single gamer with a tragic love story. Is that how the relationship between Shadow and Maria was meant to be perceived? I always thought of it as like a brother and sister sort of thing, but... Oh. But isn't that why everybody didn't like Elise? I don't think I've ever heard the same criticisms brought up between the relationship between Shadow and Maria. No, I hope not. Then what? If not Maria, then what is his tragic love story? Is there someone else in his life? Oh, I forgot he's gay with Sonic. That's canon. Of course, of course. It was a joke. Too late, they're already gay. I found you, boyfriend. Wait a second. Oh, I didn't get the goddamn bottom line. And the bottom line is... You must be kidding me, aren't you? Wow, it's just so crazy. Sonic 06 versus Sonic Boom, which is better at being the worst? We all lose in the end and suffer for it. Boom is worse at being worse, and also worse? I don't know if that makes sense, but basically, my sentiment with that is that Boom is... It is bad, but in a boring way. I don't think it's the fun kind of bad Sonic game to watch. Like, it's glitchy, it's got like the Knuckles thing, but it's just kind of dull and uninteresting and like really repetitive. I think Sonic 06 is way more fun to watch. And it definitely had like way more effort put into it, that's for sure. Like Sonic 06 at least like still feels like a Sonic game, there's parts that work, it has music that still slaps. Boom can't say that. Boom has like the most generic, forgettable music of like not like I mean compared to any Sonic game, it's easily a loss because Sonic music so often slaps. But even compared to like anything, I don't know, that's like bottom of the barrel video game OST. It's so like wishy-washy and like bland. I can't think of a single motif or melody from that game that's whatsoever memorable. Hello, eyes. It certainly doesn't slap like this, that's for sure. Like, Lost World wasn't even that good, but it's got this song, so it's great. Makes me think of that song from Pokemon Live, Best at Being the Worst Team Rocket. Oh, I don't know what that is. I have zero experience with, like, the Pokemon anime, so don't even get me started on, like, oh yeah, do you guys remember the moment where, like, I will not be able to connect with you. You will have lost me forever. Also, I appear to have... Look at this, the opacity of the paint was at 98%. Something's gone horribly wrong. I can still come back from this though, right?
We're free to be together, Mark, right?
Look at this, you can see the checkerboard pattern in like all the lines. Oh, how far back does this go? How long has this been a thing? Oh no, I might have to redo frames. Uh-oh, this could be a problem. Oh no. I think the Pokemon anime is older than I am. Probably. That was like early 90s, right? When it started. Whenever the Game Boy, the original Game Boy was like in its nascence, I suppose. So like if I were to zoom in on this, I'm not seeing any checkerboard pattern in here, and it would be more apparent with darker colors, so I'm... No, it doesn't seem visible in this frame. It looks like it kicked in just in that frame. So, phew on that one. Also, I don't think I dropped the color, actually. Boop. And let me get this too. April 1st, 1997? Damn. I thought it came along much earlier than that, but I guess. Oh, 3 frames left, baby. This is it, Luigi. This is it, Fat Yoshi. Also, let's toggle on the overlay once more. Maybe take a look at how it looks overall. Oh, it's looking so good. You're doing amazing, sweetie, and by you, I mean me. Oh, but let's take a look at those little hair loaves and see how the flow of that looks. I can make it work. Hold on. Oh, it might be a little bit of a pain, but I can try. so cool I'm slightly older. Good for you? $96, BB. Damn. Again, good for you? Damn, y'all are older than me. Streamer too young to feel that good old feel. What is the good old feel? I mean, I guess if you have to ask, but what do you mean by this? Is it's older than me? 1995, baby. What the fuck? You know what though, maybe I don't want the good old feel, because every time I have a birthday, I'm like, what the fuck do you mean I'm any age over the age of 17? That's not right. And y'all are making me feel young again. Oh, to feel young again. Oh. The good old feel of your body beginning its decay. I want to see something decay. Meanwhile, you make us feel old. Streamer doesn't remember the 90s. Remember the 90s? It was a good show! Hey fellas, guess what? I've been going for over 3 hours now, and I've only dropped 1,000 frames, also known as 0.3%. I asked about whether or not the frame rate was fixed last night, but I didn't really get a response. But looking at the performance tonight seems to be the case, so that's good. I was worried that it may still be persisting, but looks like it's behind us. I used to play Pokemon literally on my Game Boy. You had an original Game Boy? What the fuck? Yeah, y'all ain't young. That's some grandpa shit. Now they won't let Fortnite anywhere near the school, sad face. I mean, that shit's on phones too, so last stream was better too? Okay, that's good to know. Last stream is when I made that change that should have fixed everything, so Dad ought to do it. Yeah, I was noticing the viewership during the streams in which the frame rate was doing poorly was less than average for sure. So I'm glad that's out of the way and I can focus on what I need to do. Because I feel like during that time I was like, oh, well, the frame rate's shit, but I don't know what to do about it. And then I feel like it's not a very interesting topic to talk about, especially for the YouTube viewers who can't even tell what the hell is going on. Although I'm sure they would appreciate it more than the Twitch chat who had to sit through those, 0.4 frames per second. Griffin, I had a Game Boy Color. Color came out in '98. I don't know. I don't trust that. Since I'm not seeing it, I'll tell you to stay hydrated in place of the bot. You know what, Neon Blue? That's a good suggestion. I haven't taken a sip in a while, and my lips are feeling a tad dry. Thanks. Remember water? Yo, that 2040 humor, though. It was kind of exciting in that sometimes stream would freeze right before you died, so we weren't sure if you would actually die or not. And then, of course, by the time the next frame loads, I'm already made it back to that same spot, so you can't even tell whether I moved at all. Although I would assume the audio that goes something along the lines of, "Oh no, I died," would probably be a slight indication as to whether or not that result occurred. Uh-oh. Ooh, there we go. Gotta make sure these cylinders are geometrically sound. But yeah, I can see that especially being the case during like the Xenoblade finale. Like, damn. I can't imagine, like, watching that, though. That would be, like, so frustrating. Oh, actually. Yeah, we go more like that. Okay. We're getting real close, gang. Yeah, 2 frames left after this, wowie. Then we can turn the background all the way up. I don't know if I'll do this tonight, we'll see, but we could get to the point, perhaps, where I actually start loading these assets into Final Cut and, like, at least start playing around with, like, how it'll actually look, but I don't know. We've still got, like, I mean, the asset for Yoshi is already here because it's just a fucking JPEG of Fat Yoshi, but for the other characters, I will have to actually draw those. And for someone like Scott, president of Domino's Pizza, it will require a lot of attention. And for the Tommy Wiseau one, I'll probably have to redraw that one entirely because I do not like how it looks. Like, I'm trying to, like, do the pose where he's, like, leaning back in the chair, but, like, he's got a very melty face, and also he's supposed to be, like, standing, you know, down a hallway, so I don't know if that really works. There's not any really, like, good, iconic, full-body poses when it comes to Tommy Wiseau, so it's hard to work out. Oh, this is the group. There we go. So get that, get that, get that, get that. That should be the skin. Cool. Okay, how much more do we need to select here? Okay, there's a couple of blank spots up here I thought there would be. Ooh, especially this. Let's see if we can squeeze that in there. Okay. And color. Oh, did you get this up a bit? There we go. Oh, it did the frame persistence thing. That's right. Okay, hold on. Turn that on. There we go. And select that. That's what I'm trying to get. The eye color. And then I can put it in here. Okay, so audio levels are alright right now, right? Like, the music hasn't been overpowering my voice at all? Because I feel like this track might be a little more energetic and louder than the last few. Correct? As in it has been, or as in it hasn't been? Because I feel like I'm starting to get to like a point where I'm starting to get like a little quiet and focused and mumbly. Because we're like really in the final stretch and I'm like racing to it. Ooh, that could be another good meme to put like in the hallway, like Derek Savage and Cool Cat and stuff like that. I don't know whether or not it should be Derek Savage or Cool Cat or both. But hey, maybe that's something that Jack would decide. But yeah, Daddy Derek is absolutely, he deserves a place in this haunted hallway of cursed stream memes. He's gonna come after me for uploading Cool Cat illegally. Oh god, it's only $9.95, you can afford that? Oh, 2 frames left, this is it, Luigi! I might actually jump forward to frame 14 so that I can like draw the final pose and really like cement what I want that to be, so that if there's anything that goes wrong in frame 13, then I can make that like an in-between between 12 and 14 and kind of sort that out, if need be. And by anything, I mean mainly the hair thingies, should that arise, which I think it actually quite likely will. Let's see, what are some other, like, cursed things from the stream that you guys think would be good for the hallway, though? Aside from Secret. Oh, this is gonna be a tough one to get. Tough little curve. Not quite. Well, close enough. Who's the easier part to get? It's that bottom bit. It's about that oblongness. Oh, but the frames persist. So turn off frame 14 from here, and then turn it back on here. There we go. Just want to make sure the size of the eye is also persistent. What the heck is going on here? Okay, no, that's fine. That works. That works. Let's see. So does this go all the way up to the hair? Yes, it does. Okay. Why does it keep filling in whenever I, like, resume coloring on it? I guess it resets the persistent thing. Strange. I guess I just haven't been switching frames frequently enough to notice that. I really only do it when I'm done, so I guess that's the case. But in the meantime, I'm just trying to make sure that the size of these little poofs are, like, appropriate. Which they are, so we're good to go. How about this background? Yep, also good. Oh, there goes that track. Alright, what else we got here? Man, it really is leaning into suggesting Sonic Forces music, isn't it? Yikes. I would do some more Unleashed music, but this is like getting into the stage music now, and I don't want to do that because I'm about to play it. I'm looking for maybe like something a little more chill as well. Well, there is Frozen Factory, that's pretty chill. Actually, this slaps if I recall correctly. But it's a little more like Christmassy. Play Network Terminal? Network Terminal. I don't know which... Apparently it's from Sonic Forces. Okay, it's Network Terminal. What's that one? Network Terminal. There's an outside version and an inside version. I'll do outside. This fucking synth. I mean, it doesn't take long for you to tell that, oh yeah, this is from Forces, but I don't know if that's like for better or worse. Probably for worse. Inside is the better jam? I don't know, I'm kind of getting into this at the moment. I'll stick with this for a little bit. Like, that's the thing, like, the melodies of this are, like, very, very sound. It's just, you know, the rest ain't too good. Also, I've been tracing the wrong flutes. I accidentally clicked the wrong frame, so all this is all wrong. Yeah, I can fuck with this. This slaps. As much as a song from Forces can. The stages only last like 30 seconds, so there's probably gonna be like parts of this music that I don't even like recognize. I was about to start coloring, but I've still got the rest of the body to go. Kind of. Yeah, if I do it now, it's just gonna end up, like, causing the persistent shit to kick in again, and I would rather not deal with that. I'll just get it all out of the way now. But both are good? Apparently so, yeah. Neon Blue, if you want to go to bed, don't let me keep you. We're probably wrapping up soon tonight anyways. We've got like one more frame to go, so that, I mean, that seems like a good enough checkpoint, you know, as any to stop things. We'll see where we are when we get there. Sure, that makes sense. I can actually sleep in, so if it's only a bit, I can hang in there. I mean, I guess if you want to give me views, then sure. Go for it. Wait, that is all the lineup, right? And I did get the bottom thing, right? I actually did not. I did not. Oops. Now I feel like I'm kind of like racing to get this finished so that I don't keep chat up. Not on a school night. I'm an old 23-year-old man, I'll have you know. I try to be in bed by ... 2:30 a.m. Damn weak. I was about to grab the eye color from the recents, but that persistence. Oh, well, that's certainly not where I'd find an eye color leash. That's scary. Okay, there we go. Okay, one more. This is it, baby. Except I also have to do the flashlight. They took my hands. They took everything. And also a little bit of my neck. Wait, this liner? Do I need liner? No, color. Color it. Okay, I might switch to the indoor version of this theme now. Which is... where? Oh, perfect. In the up next section. Oh shit, it's this one! I just recognized it now. Yeah, this slaps. I can jam with this. Ooh. The synth still sounds a little screechy, but the melody is so good and the bass slaps so hard that, you know what? It pulls through. It overcomes those obstacles, if only a little bit. Okay, there's that last frame, baby. One more. This is it, Fat Yoshi. Isn't the official name of this render like Big Yoshi or something like that? Yo, look at the size of this lad. Frame 13. It was super jazzy. I loved the beta fight in the first Sonic Adventure. I thought by beta you meant like an unfinished track that wasn't like in the full game, but now I realize you mean like, what was it? E100 beta, E101 beta, E99? I say as I just list at like every like E204, E205. I'll get it sooner or later. Ooh yeah, this slaps. This actually reminds me of Sonic 06 a little bit, but for the good reasons. I feel like there were tracks in 06 that got like funky like this did. Got on that bass piano. Oh, it's juicy. 101 beta. I mean, if it's E102 gamma, and then I guess the rest are 3, 4, 5, 6, so on. I guess that's the naming scheme. My thought was that, oh, if it's beta, then maybe it's like 100 straight out, or maybe something like even before that. Also, before I do too much, let's actually check out the turn off persistence, and then make sure the floopies are in order. I see. Here's what I'm gonna do. What if I were to 11, and then 12, and then... That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna just add some color to that, and we'll see if that makes the transition a teensy bit smoother. Because it still has a little bit of that pop-end sensation I am not quite a fan of. Not really, but it does help mitigate it a teensy bit. Gamma is the first Greek letter, Omega is the last Greek letter. I don't know the whole alphabet. Well, I was just thinking because, you know, they're robots, so it would be like a pun on like how beta means unfinished. Because isn't like beta like Gamma's older brother? But you're right, there is like, I know there's epsilon. That's it. I know there's epsilon. Which I think I only remember because I saw the E and I'm like, oh, does that mean epsilon? And then it actually did, and I was like, oh, I was right. I think gamma is 102. Yeah, so that means that beta came first, right? Oh yeah, Zeta. That is a thing too. Yeah, that fucking slaps. That's some good shit. So is this... Yeah, I was gonna say this looks a little too big. I don't want to make it look like it's boiling on like the last frame here. It should be like getting smaller here. Maybe I should go... I might fucking put my hands on the screen again to like measure the actual in-between because I apparently didn't do a very good job of it here. So we go there for this hair bit and then here for that and then here for that. So that. But see, the guy is like way off. How's that look? And push the center back a little bit. How's that? I guess. And this is pretty spot on. It would probably be more helpful if I just turned on the actual layers and then drew in between. You know, what am I doing? Let's just do literally that. And then turn off the rough frames. Maybe up those to 50% opacity though. Boom! That's how you figure out the in-betweens. What am I doing? Now this is how we figure this out. Yeah, boom. Solved. No more guesswork. Just work. Yeah, now we're cooking. That's the good shit. We're cooking with high-end ingredients now. Omega is the last unit in that series as 1, 2, 3. Well, he's the last numbered unit we're aware of. Huh. Interesting. Now that's some lore. Yeah, you can see a couple of spots here where I could probably stand to work on the in-betweening. Because just going off of the roughs when the differences are this subtle may not actually be for the best. You really gotta make every frame count towards this final stretch, which, again, is a good thing. why I did 14 first. Sonic Adventure 2 had nameless mooks in Gamma's vein, but they weren't as effective as him? Oh. Lore. Is this colored? It is. Okay. Is that in between? I think it is. Wait. Is it? The bangs might be all wrong here. Well, might they be? I'll leave it. I just have to spend too much. Come to think of it, I don't think Eggman discovered Gamma and turned his back on him, but Eggs might still think fondly on Gamma. I like that you use Eggs as short for Eggman. Heya, Eggs, how you doing? Eggs with a hard Z. What the heck is this? Look at this, look at this, look at this. We could be like totally streamlining the in-between process. Probably should have been using the cleans for like a lot more on this project than I actually ended up doing, because that probably could have solved the whole hair fluffy situation. Although I might just erase the whole bit of this bang, and also maybe this side hair, because that could stand to be a little more... Because this is like the stuff that kind of follows... Like the head can do whatever the hell it wants, but the hair has to follow like rules around that, and so... If I don't get it right like this, then I gotta like... Okay, so the lineup there is good. Like, if this is like the very end of the animation and it's just coming to a stop, then it's not about doing something like playful with it, you just gotta fucking do the math. And that should be a bit more accurate of an in-between. As soon as I get this goddamn line to work. Because this is like, look at this. These lines are like in the exact same place and they just curve at the end. Just a teensy bit differently. There we go. And then close these eyes again. And draw a little circle in here, and boom, what do you got? I'll tell you what you got. Finished liner, I think. I gotta turn these off to find out. Yep, that looks good. Okay, overlay off. Draw the line. What do we got? Draw that line. What do we got? Yep, that fits. The Archie comic series had Gamma actually fight Omega. Omega was very shoot everything. Gamma was a... Damn, you guys are really diving into this lore here, huh? Maybe bringing up Sonic was a mistake.
I like the part where he runs fast and the music is cool. I like fire trucks.
Okay. Throw in some brown bricks. And that should be the last of it. Alright, so as we approach the end of this, what would you guys prefer me do? Because I'm thinking about like the amount of work that would be left in this project, and the fact that saving this for another Galaxy Gallery stream would mean less time to actually use this as a BRB. So would you rather have me entirely finish this project off stream and just have it ready as a BRB for like next time, either tomorrow or the day after, or save it a little bit to work on this for another Galaxy Gallery, and you guys can kind of take a look at what I would do in Final Cut Pro with this. Also, how come we have two different skin tones? Is this another thing with the transparency thingy? No, we're good. I don't know about everybody, but I like watching the process so far. So, okay, well, it is on the side of save it, I suppose. Back-to-back Galaxy Gallery might also be an option if you want it done for more of Halloween. I like having a chill stream like this, but there also isn't much left. You do you. So I'm gonna say, well, I'm going to determine. I'm going to assume that means, so it says yes. I think back-to-back Galaxy Gallery could work, because I was thinking like a week waiting on this, but back-to-back could work. Back-to-back could work, but again, even if it's back-to-back, oh perfect, the music stopped just in time. I might still end up doing more of this just like on my own time rather than, you know, exclusively saving this for more Galaxy Gallery stuff. So with that, it looks like we're done. So let's turn off all the rough layers. Let's just highlight all of these and then unhighlight all of these so that the persistence makes them all go away. And turn on the background. And that faded away very abruptly, huh? Okay, let's see. Let's just skim through here, make sure all the frames are in place. Yeah, there's a couple, you see? I gotta make sure everything's in place for the final test. God, this looks so terrifying with the background on. Let's see it in action. Oh, it looks so good! Guys, look at it! Oh, I'm so excited to actually see. This is the thing though, because I'm gonna stop streaming and then gonna be like, oh well, it's gonna take a while to render and encode that stream. Better do something while I wait, and it's gonna be this that I'm gonna be working on, because holy shit, look at this. This looks great and terrifying, but that's intended. Oh, thank you for the kind words, everybody. That's very nice of you. The lack of eyes is a little bit, you know, but that's for Final Cut to decide. Anyways, I guess that was Galaxy Gallery for tonight. Oh, let me check if anybody sent in art before we fully wrap things up for tonight. Let me check my tweet data mentions, and also, also Secret. Man, it's been a long night. Remember when we talked about Secret? Yeah, okay. Let me keep playing this while I look in the Discord channel. Okay, no art in the Discord, and my Twitter mentions are still that goddamn Fox video. So, with that, that was Galaxy Gallery for tonight. Sounds would make it feel heavy or more full, but it's progressed. I was thinking of maybe doing sounds, like as each, you know, of these different, if I go back to the very first frame here, to the surprises folder, like each of these different things may make like a different sound. Like the Yoshi would make a Yoshi noise. Maybe the Diddy would make like an echoing Diddy laugh or something like that. But you have to consider that this BRB is also going to be playing. It's like for a BRB screen, so there's going to be like music playing alongside this. And depending on how long that BRB screen is, I feel like it might be like a little repetitive, or maybe people are here like just to listen to the music. So I might just keep this silent, I think. Sounds would work, yes, but I think just for like its function of being a BRB, this might be for the better. That Diddy better make your Diddy laugh, but lower pitched. I was thinking like dissonant and echoey, like it's in a cave, you know what I mean?
Looks like you're stuck with me now, DK.
spooky, scary skeletons music. Yo, is Sans in this? Sans could be a good candidate for sure. And it is like a long hallway, kind of like Undertale is. That could be good. That could be good. Just have Diddy make sounds, no one else. Anyways, that was Galaxy Gallery for tonight. Thank you for watching. I'll loop this as I continue to speak. If you enjoyed what you saw and would like to see more of it, you can follow me here on Twitch or on YouTube at The Full Galaxy, where all the VODs are, plus highlights and more. If you really enjoyed what you saw, you can subscribe to me on Twitch. Supposedly, 6-month badges are right around the corner, so if that's what you're interested in, then hop right on that. Let's see. You can also check me out on Twitter, Tumblr, and Discord. There is a Discord server where you can hang out in. There's all sorts of channels for you guys to hang out about on and off stream. And if any of that interests you, then you can check it out in the Twitch cards below or in the YouTube description if you're watching the VOD. I always post right before we go live, and as you can tell by the fact that I'm butchering even the outro itself, that I am very tired. So with that, I will leave you guys to it. And I guess I'll catch you guys later with another update on how this project is coming along. So you guys have a good night.